Boy, you know I had to do it to him.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Screenshots.
We're on here now on the program.
That's
Mark.
That's Mark. My name is Mark Rubino. This is co-host Johnny Cruz. TJ.
That's TJ.
There you go. Go ahead, say something so the audience knows.
TJ.
TJ, nice. Danny Barker.
Hello.
And
Ahoy.
Kat, I don't know your last name.
Villanueva.
Wow, that's nice. Just a little of a warning. This episode is going to probably be a little bit longer than usual, but also we're having some technical difficulties. You might hear a ringing noise. We're going to try to fix that in post. If you hear it, we're sorry, but we are getting that fixed. It might take a few weeks, but that's about it.
I mean, you didn't have to mention that. You could have just said if you heard a ringing, it's in your head and you're
that's what I meant. That's
crazy,
what I meant.
and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong.
And there's
with
nothing
it.
wrong with
hear
our
ringing,
technology.
we're perfect, and just something's wrong with you. All right, Johnny, what's the movie making?
What movie?
Yeah, what are we here for? I don't even know what we're
You're
here
the
for.
host. You say it.
What's Spider-Man No Way Home? I said it.
Spudman.
What's Spider-Man No Way Home making?
Well, so, all right, some background, right?
Okay.
Avengers Infinity War opened with $257 million domestically opening weekend, and that got $39 million in its Thursday night preview. Avengers Endgame made $100 million more than that. It made $350 opening weekend, and that got $60 million opening weekend or Thursday night previews. And Spider-Man No Way Home, because we're recording this on Friday, made $50 million last night. So now Box Office Mojo was originally predicting somewhere between like 175, 210, or somewhere around there. The estimates before this weekend were around 150. But now Box Office Pro is predicting a opening weekend range of 190 to 240 million dollars, and it's a precise prediction for a three-day forecast of 224 million domestically, with a worldwide opening of minimally 290, which is probably going to be maybe 400, 500 worldwide, if I had to guess. The budget was it's bigger than Far From Home and Homecoming's budget, which was around 150 for Homecoming, and 175 for Far From Home, but this one's around 200 million. So it's definitely going to make its money back. It'll probably be, bye, Julia. Oh, she's not. But anyway, but yeah, and it's probably going to make $1 billion and maybe 500 million domestically. How much? Hold on, everybody predicts right now. What number do you think it's going to get opening weekend? Mark, go.
Opening weekend. Wait, how much did it make already?
50 million Thursday night previews.
80.
What?
Right? Does that make sense?
What
I have
the
no
fuck
idea.
are you talking about?
What do you mean? I don't know, dude.
Opening weekend.
That's a drop off.
Wait, wait. I'm lost then.
What the hell's wrong? What are you talking about?
What are you talking
it made
about?
50 million last night.
Okay.
He's asking how much do you think
it's
it'll make all
opening weekend.
Oh, understood. Oh, probably like 120 then for those 2 days.
Not 2 days.
Right?
Do you listen? Did you just
opening
listen to
weekend.
anything
Thursday
I just
night?
said?
No, I was talking to Danny.
Thursday.
You literally weren't listening. It's a 3-day weekend. A weekend's 3 day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, including the
Okay.
Thursday night previews. It's predicted to get 190 to 240.
Jesus Christ.
And you said 80. You idiot.
I was talking to Danny.
All right, Kat,
I
what do
was
you
talking
think?
to
You
Danny.
probably have a more precise prediction than Mark.
No.
What? What do you think it's going to get?
200.
Okay.
Shut
Danny.
up.
At least $100.
Okay.
Yeah, there you
DJ.
go, Danny.
All right, I'm going to be bold. 270 million.
That's good.
That's actually, I would go higher than.
I still think it's going to be
You
80.
said
I'll
it was
say
predicted 240 like
No, it's
Say
at
that.
most 240 from Box
at
Office Pro,
most
but it could
240,
get more.
Whatever the most is, a little bit more than the most.
I'm gonna
because
say
it's,
I'm gonna
like,
say
going off.
237.
See,
Yeah, I
my
was so
reasoning
confused.
is considering how excited I felt like how everyone was
Yeah,
so
that-
excited walking out. Everybody's going to tell everybody else. There were so many people who already bought their tickets, and now there's just going to be so many more saying, hey, I want to see it too. I want to see it too.
Right.
Opening
Word
weekend.
of mouth.
So I would like to see 270 million. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Also, just a reminder to Kat that the first few minutes are spoilers.
Oh, yeah. We have super spoiler free for like the next 8
Danny,
minutes.
you have to ding. Can you ding Danny for me, Mark?
Oh,
Danny,
God,
Danny,
we could do that.
Danny said spoiler.
Yes.
Danny said spoiler.
That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway,
Interesting.
First shot is a full
I didn't know
shot.
we could start
so
that.
now, Mark, what are your spoiler-free thoughts on the movie?
Are you okay? You having a
Yeah.
stroke?
He's
No.
spoiler 3.
My spoiler-free thoughts. First of all, I love the movie. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic, and it exceeded my expectations. I don't really know if I had expectations, but I had more fun watching this one than the other two Tom Holland Spider-Mans. Like way more fun. You explained it really well a night ago when you said it was like a roller coaster. It was fantastic. I had a lot of fun. I really liked
Martin
it.
Scorsese said that, not me.
Okay, Martin Scorsese said that. Then you said it out loud in the car. I thought it was great, and anything I find wrong with it is probably gonna be a nitpick.
Yeah.
That's my spoiler-free, like, succinct review.
Listen, I obviously a lot of people. It's been a very hyped movie, and people have been saying how good it is and stuff like that. And everybody's been talking about the hype. It's so good. You gotta go see it. You gotta go see it. And I was kind of skeptical.
Skeptical.
I was kind of
Jeez,
skeptical about it. But after watching it twice now, I can say
2 times, yeah.
that it is definitively a good movie. No, I'm kidding. I thought it was pretty great.
It's good. It was good.
That's just an inside joke.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was really I thought it was really great.
What about you guys?
TJ and Dan and Kat.
You said my name. I mean, unless you want to go.
TJ, you go. He looked at you.
Okay. So everybody who knows me knows I love Spider-Man. Big Spider-Man fan, and I've been very skeptical of the MCU as of late, especially. Now, see, is this where I could say like my one line to summarize how I feel about the
We
movie?
usually do it at the end.
Yeah,
but
do
you
it at
could
the end
just-
of the
you could
spoiler
just
free.
say some notes and then.
Yeah.
Then my quick notes is that I have to watch it a second time.
You gotta watch
That's
it a
really
second
all I
time?
could say.
Yeah.
You know, I loved it. I had a lot of fun watching it. But I have to watch it a second time.
Okay, I can accept that.
Yeah.
All right, what about you guys?
I enjoyed it. Like both times I enjoyed it. First time I enjoyed it a little bit more. I don't know if that was because the crowd. Both times, like the crowd was electric in the theater. Like
And
everybody was
but the first
loving it.
time they were too electric.
They were howling like monkeys.
Yeah. The first time people were fucking like howling.
Yeah, there
like,
was one guy
there
going, "Boy, you know I had to do it to him,"
Yeah,
or some
yeah,
shit
yeah.
like
He was
that.
like,
Like,
"Good did him in
screaming.
pieces." It was-
Shit
was-
did him in pieces.
like it was refreshing to be in a movie theater where everybody was so into the movie.
Yeah,
But
that's why I want to
loved
see it so many times more, like because of the
Just,
movie,
yeah.
but also just I want to see people's reactions. Like I was
Yes.
looking at everybody
Yeah,
this time
it's
around.
fun.
I'm gonna be going with my brother tomorrow. The whole time, I'm just gonna I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
it. I'm
Yeah.
only gonna watch. Jordan.
Yeah. What about you, Kat?
Yeah, Cat.
Okay. So, I really love the movie, but I had some annoying parts with
Make sure not to spoil
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah, make sure
I
don't
know.
spoil anything.
but with Spider-Man, Peter Parker in the beginning, his decisions were quite annoying to me.
Why'd
That's
you
fair.
side eye
That's
me?
fair.
Okay, I
Just
like
so
it.
many
get-
things
I-
could have been avoided.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I
So-
get
Yeah.
I get
But
where you're
I
coming
feel like
from.
Yeah, I would stop right there.
yeah.
Um,
Spoiler.
Can I say one of like the criticisms I was talking about with TJ before is like one of my even though I really like Homecoming and Far From Home and I really like Tom Holland Spider-Man, one of the criticisms I have is that since probably like the Sam Raimi trilogy and maybe the Amazing Spider-Man 2, No Way Home or Homecoming and Far From Home, they felt light on theme where the changes that Peter Parker would go through as a character weren't as existential and heavy as in previous stories. And I think that since the scope of his character didn't fit the scope of the movies, I kind of felt like it was a little underwhelming. Like
Yeah.
his character wasn't fleshed out as deeply as I wanted him to. But I think in this one, I think the tone, it has like a much more mature tone to it. And I think it's made a lot better than those two previous movies. And I think it's the closest they've come to like the Sam Raimi type of.
You have to keep talking, Johnny. Keep talking.
My sister's doing something over there, but I thought it got back to what I really liked about the Sam Raimi's movies, and it was exploring Peter's character very thoroughly.
Yeah, it should be noted for me that Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies are like my favorite. Spider-Man 2 is my favorite.
Spider-Man
movie of
2
all
is
time.
like forever going to be the definitive Spider-Man movie.
Same, and it is my favorite movie of all time. You know, I'm big fanboy when it comes to that. So like whenever I say stuff here, just know I'm probably comparing everything I
yeah.
see here to that. So
Yeah.
I think it should be noted.
baseline. It's a good baseline to have
Oh.
for like what you want out of a Spider-Man movie.
Absolutely, I love it. I love how he struggles. I love how you feel what he feels, the loneliness, the depression of having to deal with, hey, I'm Spider-Man, but it's keeping me from living a normal life. I love that.
Right.
Wait, who?
Peter Parker.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna be like, who cares?
And like honestly, it's,
Imagine.
if you see a
Who
movie,
asked?
if you see a movie like this opening weekend, it's seeing it at the theater. It's kind of hard not to like it the first time.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
because if you're seeing it with even if you're aware, even if you're like, what something's off here, and I'm the only one in the theater who feels that way, you're still having a lot of fun because everybody's just so excited.
Yeah,
but
everybody was-
It's that kind of
yeah,
movie.
it's that kind of movie you're gonna love the first
it's a
time,
crowd
and
cheer.
then you'll figure out how you like it. But I think
For sure.
we watched it a second time today, and I think it still holds the quality of it still holds up as like a genuinely.
Was there a
great
little bit
movie.
of a dip in enjoyment?
Well, it's hard
Maybe
because I
just
wasn't.
because, like,
I
I
don't.
could predict. I it's not obviously like I knew exactly what was happening.
What?
So like all the hype moments were like obviously a little dampened for me because I knew it was coming.
Knew it was
but,
coming.
Well, I
like,
liked him better the second time because you get to see everything.
I feel like I
New way.
found myself the second time like doing the thing where I'm looking in the background, seeing if there's any like.
Yeah, I noticed a
Things you
couple
I,
things.
I feel like I noticed a couple of things, but
This isn't a
I
spoiler,
might
but
have-
there's a scene where Peter's walking into school and you see like all the great scientists in
yeah,
history.
yeah.
You can see Howard Stark,
Well, yeah,
And you can
people
see-
pointed that out in Homecoming.
Yeah,
Howard
and
Stark and
Stanley Tucci's the doctor from, I forget his name, but from First Avenger who created Captain America.
and Bruce Banner, I believe, was on it.
Well, that was a
Yeah,
different.
right?
He was on like the pictures above the chalkboard. This isn't a
okay.
different
Mm.
mural.
Okay, gotcha.
There was a part. This isn't really a spoiler. There was a part where I swear I saw a Deadpool sticker, but I might. Well, we'll get into that later. But I'm pretty sure
that'd
I
be cool.
saw one.
That'd be
One
really
thing
cool.
I want to say before I walked away was that this movie was so good that it makes me actually like the other two a lot more.
Mhm.
Like I didn't like the other two like really at all. Like when 2017 the first one came out, right?
Homecoming, yeah.
Yeah.
Homecoming. I watched it and I was like, I'm like, okay, I guess it's a part of it. And I didn't care. Then the second one came out, I was like, oh yeah, it's really cool. Like things are going on, but like I don't really care about. I almost said Peter Pan. Peter Parker. Like I don't care about him. This movie, I care about these characters. I actually care about these characters and what happened to them. And
it makes you realize, even if you think you didn't, even if you didn't, it kind of makes you go, "Oh wait, I do care about these characters." You
and
know,
it makes you realize like I've been following this Peter Parker for this long. Like this was incredible. Like and if you guys think this is a spoiler, I'll bleep it later. But TJ and I were talking, and it's like Tom Holland's trilogy was almost this entire trilogy was like an origin story
Origin
for him.
story. And we were joking how like they completely skipped out of like a traditional origin story when they introduced him to the MCU, and it's kind of like they were like, all right, so we didn't want to do the origin story, so we gave you the origin.
The origin trilogy.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool. I love
It's
that.
so good. It
I
was
do
so
love it.
good.
Before I judge whether or not I think it's a good movie, again, I really enjoyed it. I would, if I had to go back in time and tell myself, hey, watch it or don't watch it, obviously I'd say watch it. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
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 I would tell other people to watch it. So
Yeah.
for sure.
Willem Dafoe's good in this movie.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh
He's
wow.
always good.
What did I
though.
say? What did I say when we left the theater? I was like, I would have loved to see him as Joker. Like he's
Oh,
he's
dude,
a good
I love-
actor.
People did edits of that, like little Photoshop
Yeah.
of him as Joker.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So cool. He's a great actor.
He's great.
What would you rate it out of 10?
Wait, do we have
I
a
said-
specialty
I
rating?
said that like 10 times.
Do we have a specialty
you?
rating?
I said it so many times that I can't rate it until.
Oh, you have to give it a number though. You have to give it a number.
I have
Yeah,
to.
what the fuck is? What are you, a communist?
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. You suck. All right. I would say for now, and this is so subject to change. I would say 8. I feel like I
Okay.
feel like that's fair.
All right. All
8.5.
right. Danny, what would you rate it?
I'd give it an 8.5 as well. 8.7.5.
Wow. Okay.
8.75.
8.7.5.
8.75. There would not be a point after the 7.
All right. Kat, what would you rate the movie?
9.
A
9
9.
out of 10.
Oh yeah.
I would
It's a
probably
9.5.
give it a 9.5, 9.7.
Oh
What did I
wow.
just
say?
That's a high. That's a high.
Because
first
knowing
rating.
knowing that perfection is impossible, and knowing how, like, I did not like the first two movies. This movie getting me to actually enjoy the first two movies is huge.
It is huge.
This movie alone got me to like two other movies that I would have rated like a
This
4.
movie was so good that it brought you back in time. And
Yeah,
you
No,
like
enjoyed
it
that.
did. No,
absolutely.
honestly, like the
Yeah.
other two movies, I would have rated a 4 each. This one, this might be a 10. Like honestly, I like if you said Mark rated a 10, I wouldn't be offended.
Yeah.
I thought this was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought this was so
That's
good.
fair.
I really did. Johnny, what's your rating?
Well, I thought this one because the first two Marvel movies had like a kind of that kind of Marvel sticker on them where it felt.
MCU, because I just want to make sure you're saying like the first two MCU movies.
Yeah, what do you mean? What did I say?
Oh, you said Marvel, and I'm like, in my head, I'm
X-Men?
like, they're all Marvel.
Wait, what?
I have no idea.
Forget it.
But they kind of had like that generic like kind of feel to them because they had to like stay in that universe. But I think this one is the most distinct out of the Spider-Man MCU movies
Yeah.
in terms of style and its tone. And I think John Watts did a lot of like new things with like the camera and stuff, and like the overall tone of the movie. And since it was a little bit more of a starker movie, I think it stands out from all the Marvel movies. And people say like, oh, it's nostalgia. I give it like a 10, but like as a movie, it's like, yeah, but that's the same. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
those
Yeah.
are the same thing. Like it's part of the movie. So for now, knowing that it's probably gonna drop off a little bit in the future, but right now I can't see myself not getting bored with this movie. I would say 9-1.
9-1.
I feel like such a bah humbug right now.
Yeah.
That's the lowest score.
No, it's okay. It's all right. All right, guys, you ready to move into spoilers?
Yeah.
All right, spoilers in 3, 2, 1.
Dresses like a spider and he looks like a bug. But we should all just give him one big hug. Look out, ooh, here comes the Spider-Man.
Look, the big question was whether Toby and Andrew were gonna show up or not. And I would have liked it if they did show up. It would have been fun, but sadly, I guess they couldn't get like scheduling together or something like that. But I do think
Yeah, it was
that
a letdown.
what?
It was a letdown.
Do you just mute my mic?
No.
Oh. But yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I know we joked about it. We joked about, oh, imagine like they're not in the movie, and you're like, that'd be so fucking funny. But it wasn't funny. That actually really
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, kind of fell flat.
Want my money back.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right, we're done.
No, just kidding. They're in the movie.
Yeah, it was nice.
I
It was
can't.
really
Bel
cool.
That's incredible.
It was
That's
really- it was
incredible,
really cool
man.
seeing them.
I when I had to edit the Road to Spider-Man episode we did, it's almost like I got to rewatch every single movie because I do all those clips and all those scenes and put them in the episode. And like I cried sitting in my desk doing this. Like this is so good. Those Tobey Maguire's movies were so good.
I rewatched
And then
them
even
all the time.
like Andrew Garfield, who by the way, this movie reminded me how good he is at playing Spider-Man. Holy shit.
And you know that in this, he was like, "Can I just wear the suit the whole time?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So even his movies, I'm like, this is like these are good.
Ring
like,
the bell.
ring the bell.
Yeah. You said suit.
Suit.
Oh, wait, that was mine too.
Oh, you got to scratch it off then. Anyway, so you okay? I loved that so much, and this, yes, the nostalgia really helped it. It really helped it, but I think, fuck, man, I don't even know how to explain to you my emotions about
In
that.
terms of like the roller coaster thing, that who said that, Johnny?
No,
Martin
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Scorsese said it was like
that the roller coasters, like if
like
you
their theme parks. It did
Yeah.
feel like that. That's better. Like, now we can. I
to
hear
me,
people.
like that was exactly what it was. That's what I'm saying. Like how much fun I had in the theater. Like everybody in the theater was enjoying it together, and it was a movie built like reveal after
Right.
like cool thing going on, and everybody like it gives you like a bunch of moments to be like yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like everybody in the theater is just
It was funny
pumped about
because
it.
the first time I watched it, like everybody was like cheering. I'm like, okay, this is a lively crowd, and then Aunt May gets whacked, and then they're-
Literally
and
whacked.
Then
Literally,
and then
yeah.
they're in Ned's like apartment and stuff, and you start to see the thing open up,
Oh my god.
and they go Peter, and people start cheering like woo, And I'm like, well, okay, they just found
Yeah,
him.
they
Like,
started using magic. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't think that it was gonna be Andrew Garfield, but I was like, oh,
that's
so they
crazy.
found Peter. Like, why is everybody cheering at that? And everybody's going, oh, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then he jumped and he was like, it's me.
Yeah, I will say, I didn't realize it was the Andrew Garfield Peter
Yeah.
until I literally just felt Mark just spying on me.
I just started hitting
Just
TJ.
spying
I
on
was
me.
like,
I was like, oh, it's Andrew.
it's Andrew.
Wow.
Oh, it's him.
Would like to find that out for myself.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't give a shit.
It's all right.
Bro, it was so great. But yeah, when Ned opened the ring, I thought everyone was cheering because he was doing magic.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
why I was
I
like,
don't
yeah, okay,
care.
Ned doing magic, like, yeah, it's not that exciting.
Can I just say something? Like, just to, this is a complete side topic,
Yeah, what?
but like you bring up Ned using the magic. I'm so glad they didn't focus on that, like they
Yeah,
did with like
just-
Shang-Chi and his friend. Oh, now she's some amazing archer. They were like, oh, Ned's some amazing magician. Like
Yeah.
that's something
Magician.
that the MCU totally would have done, but they didn't. I love it. They
Yeah,
Hit
I
it
wanted
at
to
Show that he
say.
Let it
still
be.
sucks
Let it
by
be.
not being able to close.
exactly. You
the
couldn't close it,
portal.
and they let it be. They just
Yeah.
I
Had
wanted
some
to
fun with
say that one of the things that people liked about the Eternals movie is that it was so different than from other MCU movies. I didn't really like Eternals. I didn't really
I
like
should
it at
say
all.
I have not seen it. In case
I-
you guys have.
Yeah, I didn't like the movie, but everyone said, "Oh, but it was so different," and they were like giving it a lot of points for being different. This is a different kind of MCU movie. They did something different, and they did it very well. So when you come to talk about like the Shang-Chi, like little cringy shit that people do, that the movies do, it's like this. They did so many things so right.
There's
And
so
it's
many.
different.
There were so many times that like that you would have come across a easy MCU trope, something that they do time and time again, and then they reversed. They
Yeah,
avoided it, and I love that. It was great.
yeah. They did a fantastic job. Like who wrote the screenplay for this?
Chris McKenna and somebody else.
What else, have they done anything else?
I don't know. I gotta look it up.
All right. What about you guys, Johnny? Nah, I keep calling you Johnny. Danny and Kat. What was your feel when it comes to like nostalgia, but then also like MCU not like dropping the ball again, like everything mixed together? How do you feel about it? Like, was it what you expected?
Kat, what did you expect?
You can go first.
I mean, I obviously expected everybody to be in the movie. Like it really wasn't even like, it wasn't like when they revealed it wasn't like oh my god, they're in the movie. It was like, duh, they're in the movie, but still like it was cool.
In the
It didn't-
trailer, like people pointed out that the lizard got kicked by nobody.
It was-
Like they
yeah.
clearly edited
It
out
was-
the other Spider-Man.
It was a
out.
Brazilian like TV spot or something
Yeah.
like that where they
Yeah, so,
forgot
like-
to edit
so,
out the lizard.
So everyone
getting
knew that
punched.
the Spider-Man were.
It
in
looked
for
like he was
sure.
getting punched by a ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, so they edited
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Like
Yeah.
everybody knew.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just backing
was-
up your point.
You
Yeah.
take it off. I didn't like the way they animated the lizard in this one. I like the way they did it in the Amazing Spider-Man way better.
Well, I did
Yeah,
find
the
it
C-
funny. So the original actors who played Sandman and the Lizard, you could tell that they didn't really do anything to be in the movie. So when you see them as themselves, as their human form, they were just clips from old movies.
Is that
Copy
true
and
though?
paste.
No.
It 100% was. The part where like the sand was leaving his body, that was the same that we saw
It did look like
in
that in the
Spider-Man
movies.
3.
Really?
So he didn't
I-
come back, but he recorded.
listen,
he
I have no
recorded
proof,
yeah, but he recorded dialogue.
Yeah, but like maybe he is out of shape or something. I don't know. It looked very very reminiscent to Spider-Man 3 when
Yeah,
the
when he's
sand
looking
was
at when
leaving
he's looking at
body.
his hand, right?
Yeah.
I
It looked
noticed that
very
too.
reminiscent. And the
I didn't
part
even think of that.
and the part where like it was him quickly turning when he was inside the Statue of Liberty, that also looked very like
That was
kinda-
definitely like
kind
CGI.
of CGI pulled out of the
Yeah.
other movie.
You said
Yeah.
CGI.
Really?
Yep. Take shot. First shot for you. Full shot.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Johnny, wake up.
Great. Everybody has to play the game except Jared.
Where's the coffee?
I get it. So, real quick before I do though, yeah, some of it did look fake, but one of the things I had a problem with, I tweeted this a long time ago.
The CGI for Sandman and Lizard were very bad.
I
It was worse than the
Yeah.
movies they were in.
It was pretty bad.
like I was saying that I tweeted a long time ago. I was like, it's gonna be so weird seeing Toby and Andrew's real suits next to Tom Holland's CGI suit. But then all the suits look really good except until the end fight. Obviously, they can't really do anything about that. They were swinging around the.
That
Fucking
part where they all
statue.
jumped, that part where they all jumped out in unison and just like swung together. Oh,
Oh, it's so good. But I would have liked to, because I know like Tobey Maguire is older and he's skinnier. I would have liked to see him like
him buff.
that
the
thick
original movies, he
fucking
was beefy.
Spider-Man fucking.
So beefy.
Yeah,
holy
that
shit!
thick Toby Maguire.
I would have loved to see
Big
thick Tobey
Toby
Maguire. Thick Tobey
He has the
Maguire.
That's-
fattest ass out of
I
all
do
three.
think that when he comes through the port, first of all, like the actual like, if that wasn't them coming back for the first time, like take that away, the scene where Andrew and Toby come back, take away that it's crazy that they're coming back just as a scene. That's like such a great scene, man. The way they're just like bouncing off of each other is so well done.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like on par with with great like the Uncle Ben in this first Spider-Man saying with great power comes great responsibility and like the
Ding,
upside
ding,
down
ding.
kiss thing.
Ooh.
I think,
Oh, that's that too. Yeah, you have to take you have to take 2 full shots now
Yeah.
Wait,
I-
two
wait.
full shots?
because your
Oh, you
first
stopped
shot
the first
is a full shot, and then that was a
I
phrase.
thought that was the first one shot.
No,
that somebody takes.
everyone's first shot is
I
full
didn't
shot.
know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna take 2 full shots because I have to drive. But
Oh, okay.
Take this one now, 'cause I'm ready to go.
wait, hold on. Let me finish the thing.
When you're bouncing off of each other.
I fucking forgot what I was gonna say. Again.
Jeez, Johnny's not having a good night. I go ahead. What's up?
I was, oh my god, I was gonna say I loved how. So you and I always say, one of the things we hate about this Spider-Man is that, where's Uncle Ben, right? Where is he?
Yeah.
And I love how I thought this was interesting. This still isn't what I would have preferred, but I thought it was interesting, and I liked it. I still enjoyed it. The fact that they made Aunt May the Uncle Ben of his universe,
Yeah.
with the whole, she said, with great power comes great responsibility on the day that she
You
died.
already did it.
Can we also talk about, like, she says it, but she changes it a little bit, and it.
Also comes great responsibility.
Not gonna lie, she should have just
Oh,
said
yeah.
it the
Well,
original
Yeah,
way.
she
absolutely,
should've.
absolutely.
It
100%.
seems like it's like she messed it up when she
Well-
was acting, and they were like, "It's fine," but like it should have
It's-
been
it's
with
such an
great
important
power
line.
comes
It's such an
great
important line.
responsibility.
You know
And
what's
she goes with great power, and you're like, "Great responsibility," and she goes,
Also,
Must.
yeah.
Also
comes, and you're like, "Just what?" Just
you know what's
Yeah.
funny though? The scene when they're all talking on the roof, and which is actually really good when he starts. He goes, "My Aunt May told me with great power," and you see Toby go like, "Oh," like that, and he's like, "Comes great responsibility." He finishes it, and like so they've heard it before, and then Andrew Garfield's like, "Yeah," and he didn't say, "Oh well, my Uncle Ben told me." If you have the power to do good things for good people, then you have an outright obligation to do those responsible things for good people. Like, he didn't say that, you
Yeah.
fuck. I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I actually I like.
Zach is here.
Welcome, Zach. Welcome,
Yo,
Zach.
what's
You
up?
You might hear
Remember?
some ringing in the headphones. Don't worry about that. Just ignore it.
I don't really see
It's just the viewers' ears that are wrong.
Yeah, the viewers' ears are
What's up, what's
wrong.
up?
Got a point.
So, Zach, now that you came late, give us your. We're in spoiler territory, so you can say whatever the fuck you
How far
want.
did you guys get?
We're
I
only
wanna
we're
retrace-
30
just
minutes
kinda,
in.
We kind of just like
Oh
started
shit!
talking
Okay, so
about
we
it.
got
and
like
we're-
another hour. Okay. So just overall thoughts on the
Yeah,
movie.
remember, get like an inch away from the mic.
Okay. I
No,
actually-
an
that's a
inch
point.
away
Wait,
from the
inch-
mic.
inch away. Okay.
Yeah, get close. Get
Back
close.
there.
Get
Okay.
personal.
I absolutely love this movie. I think
Dude,
this is
make out with
best.
the mic, please.
Ew! Don't do that,
No,
guys.
just say get
Finish. Get close. Get close.
Right
Zach.
here, right here.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect.
I've never been on here before. Okay. No, I absolutely loved this movie.
Yeah.
Going into it when they were like announcing like all the different like multiverse stuff, I was like kind of nervous of how it.
Get the rubber band. I'll get
Oh
one.
my God.
Keep talking, Zach. Keep
What
talking.
word? I was absolutely kind of like nervous of what it was going to turn out like because I was like, okay, if they're announcing like Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, all these like people coming,
Oh, that wasn't that bad. Keep going, Zach.
I was absolutely nervous by how the fan service stuff would be handled because if you're going to bring those all,
Another one?
No, I
Oh.
was
Oh.
agree with it. I was agree
okay.
with him. I
I was
let
a
you finish
l-
though.
I was a little nervous, how that was going to come out because I was like, if this is handled wrong, then it's just a fan service like mess, and then they're just like,
Yeah.
oh look, it's this guy from that movie,
Yeah.
I was actually, it serves the story well. They got a good dynamic between the characters. It evolved Peter Parker in a very personal way. I love exactly how it came out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
good.
I was gonna say that. Like that's one of my biggest problems with Endgame is that a lot of it is fan service, and I personally believe that doesn't really make for a good movie. So I really enjoy that. What could have been just fan service was actually used for the story, for the plot, and I don't know. It's just really nice seeing, the old Spider-Man not just used as as ticket sellers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like they
That's a
they
good-
meant to be in the
They
story.
helped him develop as a character. They didn't just come in
Absolutely.
and they weren't like, oh, let's kick ass.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
like how even like the first fight scene, like you think they're just gonna like get into like kick ass mode, and then you realize like
struggled.
they suck working together, and they have to like stop
Oh,
and like
yeah.
regroup, and they're like, I've never worked as a team.
You're part of
And
the
then-
Avengers? That's
Yeah.
awesome. What is that? How is that?
I didn't like that joke. Like that's just an MCU
He's
joke.
like, I don't want to brag, but I also do.
That reminded me of Johnny. It's like I don't want to brag, but I will.
No, I think and the thing is, when it was rumored that Toby and Andrew would be in it, because we didn't know definitively,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, if they're in this, I don't want them to be in it that like too long. Like I thought it was the perfect amount of time, because this had to be Tom's movie. They had to evolve Tom's Spider-Man. So I thought, I loved how they evolved him. I love how it ended.
Yeah.
Oh my, it's like classic fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Classic. I love it.
we
And
have to get into that later. We have to.
Okay, we'll get into
Yeah,
it
get
later.
into
We'll
it
get
now. Who
into it
gives a shit?
Okay, okay.
Now let's do it.
Here's
now,
the thing.
'cause that's a
Okay,
big conversation.
so I'm not like other people. I have loved MCU Spider-Man. I'm not saying it's absolute perfection. No Spider-Man is, but I've never looked at it as he's Iron Man Jr. I've always looked at that was just a mentor. But I understand why people didn't like all the techie stuff. I understand that. And over time, I was starting to miss, classic, no tech Spider-Man. And I loved that how they went back to it. It felt like his old roots. He's like ended up shitty. I mean, I wouldn't say MCU Spider-Man's rich, but again, he had all the Stark stuff.
Yeah.
So he's alone in an apartment. He's got the police radio
ding.
thing.
alone.
Here, you gotta let when you ding somebody, let them finish the
Oh,
thought,
I
because
didn't
it
know
just
that.
makes for
My
a
fault, my fault.
stilted thing.
So basically, he's all alone now in this apartment. I know he was looking at the radio, the little
The little,
going.
the little radio.
I have to,
Keep going, Jack. Keep going.
Oh, keep going. Yeah, he's all in that, and then he has like the little radio on there. Like it just feels like he's like just putting all of his shit together. He's crafting
Yeah.
this on his own. I want to know if the eyes still move though.
I hope
Gotta-
not. I actually don't like the eyes.
I like the eyes actually. I like moving eyes.
I think it's cool, but
They
that
don't need
that
it. Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
happen in
I'm
like
with him. I like the movie.
a real-
Real
Oh,
cool.
I feel like they
Moving eyes
added
are
that
great.
to add like so he can show like a little bit
Expression.
of expression, because like when he Doc Ock throws the car off the bridge, he's like, catch this, and he catches it, and then he sees that there's like a family in there, and the things like the eyes like open up a little bit, like
It helps him emote a lot
Yeah,
more
yeah,
because
yeah.
honestly,
without that it would have
yeah.
just been like his face and just like oh, and it would have had to be more of like a oh what the hell's going on, but they can just show it with like a
And I
eyes
really,
100%.
widening.
I really hope that there are some like kind of technological features to the suit, because like I
Yeah.
want them to I want them to show him making his own suit. Where it has like
yeah.
gear and stuff. Because he's
But-
supposed to be a smart kid.
yeah. I don't.
But
I
can
wouldn't want.
afford
I
it.
definitely wouldn't want it right away though, because he has no facilities to make anything.
Yeah,
Like maybe like when he's in college, he like breaks into like the science lab and makes something. Sure, I could.
That'd be great.
I
That'd be
could.
great.
I could like that. I'll
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But you know what else we're
Great
gonna
message
see?
for kids.
You know what else we're gonna see? Somehow he's gonna get into photography and start taking photos for the Daily Bugle.
I literally, when
Oh.
they at the end, when they had the montage and they showed J. Jonah Jameson, like before they show him in his apartment, I thought we were gonna actually see him working for J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, that would-
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna see that. I think J. Jonah Jameson's definitely playing a role moving forward. I like that he's like fully in.
Yeah.
Even if Peter doesn't work for him, I like
Yeah.
that he's back. He's not just a gimmick on like the giant screen. Like that's what I was worried about. We could actually see him in person, and we did.
Here's what
so.
I want to know. Like, where do you guys think he fits in the multiverse? Do you think, like,
It's done. I don't think Spider-Man's in Multiverse of Madness.
no, J. Jonah Jameson, like, do you think the Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man came and saw that J. Jonah Jameson and was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
same,
Good point.
we have
That's
the
a good
same
point.
one? Or do you think,
Maybe
They'll go
the
and
plot revolves around J. Jonah Jameson.
I
That's
thought-
why he's the only one who's consistent.
I
you
thought
know?
what was going to happen is, because, like, when you start out, you first see him and he's in, like, a basement alone, like, trying to, I thought what was going to happen, they were going to get into it, and he somehow ended up in that universe, too, and he was just like, well, shit, I got to pick up from somewhere, so he started his own thing, like, and it was in a basement kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, they got Spider-Man here, too. I got famous with, or I was successful with
But
Spider-Man.
if
you
that was
know.
the case, I mean, he still would have went back when Doctor Strange did the
Yeah,
spell.
yeah, that's
you know?
true.
I
Did
think-
he?
I would've
Do we
liked it.
know?
I
Do we
would've-
know if he did or not?
Well, I would have liked
What
it
do you
if
mean,
Tobey
like-
Maguire's Spider-Man was like, "Oh, your J. Jonah Jameson looks exactly fucking the same as mine."
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I
he-
think
or he just-
TJ's theory is correct that J. Jonah Jameson is the epitome of all worlds.
Okay.
And I
That's
think
He's the
what I'm saying,
Duncan
that's what I'm
Idaho of
saying.
the Spider-Man franchise.
he is. Not even the Spider-Man franchise, dude. The entire Marvel universe.
Yeah, it would. I think it'd be really. I still would have liked it. I think it'd be stupid in the movie, but I would like to see a scene where like the JJs all meet each other. That'd be just funny. I don't want that to be canon,
That would have been cool.
but I would like them to do like a special like scene for like Blu-ray or something while the JJs meet each other and
You
how they would
know-
react.
You know, there's a clip. There actually is a clip in No Way Home, and I saw it earlier. All the Spider-Man, they do the pointy meme when they're all doing the huddle up. They
Yeah.
actually they
Yeah,
frame it
I
in
saw
a
that.
way, where
Oh,
they're actually
really?
pointing. Yeah,
So,
you'll
like,
find it. It's framed.
You're talking about the Spider-Man meme where there's like
Yeah,
three
yeah.
Yeah, there's three Spider-Man, like,
pointing
"Who are
at
you?"
it. Yeah, they
Is
did
anyone
that.
upset that they played it for a little bit? But is anyone upset they didn't take more advantage of Toby's theme song?
Oh,
I don't mind
absolutely,
it.
Absolutely.
They played it twice. I think that you would have gotten a really good moment, if you had the original, like the original start of the main theme, like
When he walked through the
and
portal,
he
that'd
was
be
like,
cool.
yeah, play it if he walks in the portal, or maybe you see him in costume for the first time.
Oh, you know.
Like they're like, hey, wait, where's Peter 2 or whatever, and then
yeah,
he comes
you
in.
heard the song. Which character do you guys have more of a connection to? Which Spider-Man?
Toby.
Okay, here's the thing.
Toby all the way.
Toby.
In terms of connect, are we talking about
In
how,
this
like,
movie, not in
this
your
movie?
lifetime. In this movie, who did you have more of a connection to?
I thought the way we saw Tom Holland get fucking brutally, like, his life was taken away from him. I really felt for him in this one. I thought this
Yeah.
one was his best performance as Spider-Man. I'll say this though, in terms of like he's my favorite Spider-Man in terms of actor, but if we're talking about who was the best Spider-Man in terms of when all three of them were together, like interacting,
Yeah.
I think Andrew Garfield was
So
insane.
good, so
He
good.
was so fucking good, and he's like my third favorite Spider-Man. But like in terms of all three
You
of them
did
today,
the third favorite, because he's number 3.
yeah, I love that you had to make fun of
Aw,
him.
Poor guy.
Oh wait,
Ding
fuck.
Zach because he said 3.
Wow, really?
Really?
Damn,
Interesting word.
get him, slap him.
Who's your favorite Spider-Man, Cat?
Oh,
Zach-
definitely Andrew.
Zach, come here.
Really?
Oh,
Go
Why?
ahead.
Sorry.
Go
Why?
ahead, manhandle that mic.
Why
I
do
don't
you?
know. He's
All right, that
hot.
wasn't so bad actually.
I
Proves this guy's stronger than you.
I think Andrew's my favorite in this movie because you can tell that he really enjoyed this. He wanted to do this so bad. Who was it? Was it you, TJ, or you were calling your friend that said that
Yeah.
Andrew only made 1.4 million, whereas like Toby made like 32 million or something, some weird fucking
Yeah.
number.
No, Andrew, Tobey Maguire, apparently there were reports, I don't know if they're true, but apparently Tobey Maguire was like very difficult to get back.
That's what I heard.
I heard he was a pain in the fucking, I heard like he was a pain in the ass. Like,
Yeah. What a piece of garbage.
Well, I heard everyone from like the original Spider-Man movies were like really pissed when like the higher ups decided to reboot because apparently they had something huge planned for the fourth movie and like they already got started on it and then it was ripped from them. So like all of them were really pissed. I remember Kirsten Dunst was in the news when Homecoming was announced. She was like, "Oh wow, they're milking this franchise again." Like everybody involved with the original movies were really pissed.
yeah.
So
It's a-
I don't find that surprising.
It's just that
Well,
Right.
I was under the impression that the original story was that Sam Raimi was developing Spider-Man 4, and the main villain for that was going to be Vulture. And like Spider-Man 3, since they forced Venom into the movie, Sam Raimi didn't understand Venom as a character, and he said so himself, and he wasn't that interested in him. So similar things were happening with Spider-Man 4, and the script never really came together. And he knew that they were going to reboot it. They were planning to reboot it anyway. So after he really couldn't figure out a way to, do it in a satisfying way or make the script something he would film, he just said, "I guess all right, just go do your reboot or something like that."
oh yeah, it was the lizard that they really wanted to milk really badly.
for
She's
Sam
like-
Raimi's
Yeah,
fourth one.
they
they-
wanted,
they still
they
did
wanted
it.
the lizard in it too. I think that was it.
There were also theories of Mysterio. They were gonna have Bruce Campbell because he was in all three movies.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
there
cameos
was-
would have added up that he was Mysterio and
yeah,
an
yeah.
illusion
There was
the
a
entire
theory,
time.
like-
It was gonna open with their storyboards. It was an opening of like Spider-Man, like just like arresting like all these B-list like Spider-Man villains, and in one scene, they take the helmet off of Mysterio, and it's Bruce Campbell under there.
That'd have been cool.
Yeah, it's so dope.
It would have been cool, but like I'm not clamoring for Spider-Man 4. Like I'm happy with what we got. So
They
like
should
I'm
still
not-
just make it.
I don't
should
think
just-
so. I think they need to continue with what they're doing with
No,
Tom Holland.
fuck it.
Yeah,
Just
right.
go Tobey Maguire,
They don't
Spider-Man
need
4.
Spider-Man 4. I
Sam
don't need the
Raimi.
Amazing Spider-Man 3. I'm
Nobody wants
satisfied.
that,
Yeah, like
though.
where do you think do you think there's a chance that they go and make a new like movie with Tobey Maguire and and the Goblin.
No shot.
I
There's
think
no
it was
chance, but
no.
that I
No
don't.
shot.
There's no chance, but
I mean,
want them
obviously
to
it
just
wouldn't
make
be the
Spider-Man
Goblin.
4.
Like maybe the Goblin would be helping him. Like they.
Yeah, keep going. I just thought of something crazy. Quick, go ahead.
You guys, you don't think there's any chance that they brought all these people into these worlds to fix things for them, and then they just send it back, and you never.
Yeah.
hear
I
from
think
I
them?
think it was just a
chance-
special guest appearance. That's all I looked at
I think
it
there's a
as.
chance we'll
That's
see
fair.
them again, though.
Maybe there's maybe they have
Chance.
shows. Maybe they have miniseries lined up for.
I don't think we'll see any of the villains.
which would be
again.
cool.
I don't.
I
think
like how
so.
I like how they gave all the villains a peaceful ending.
Yeah,
I like that. I kind of really the story really heavily went into why Peter Parker's a good person and he will stop at nothing to do the right thing even if it makes his life miserable. And I love how it dove into that with having bringing all the villains the peace kind of like you said.
I want to jump on what he said about all the villains having peace. I guess this could be answered with multiverse, but you have to imagine that now. So we had Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. We had his Green Goblin. We had his Doc Ock. We had his Sandman, right? They all went back to different parts of that timeline and must have changed it drastically. So you just created a bunch of different new timelines within.
I think maybe they
I
came
don't
back
know
to
they
the
changed
present
it.
day.
I think they just
TJ,
came back to the.
She got you
yeah.
on peace.
Really?
Villain.
Villain.
Yeah.
You said my keyword.
Okay, that's fine.
Villain.
Oh, I had villains too.
No biggie.
Well, if
But
I think it was because it go back to your universe. Maybe you're right about because I don't know because they said if
they all went back to different times, but must have changed
Well,
everything moving
they say if
forward.
they go
with them
back
being
they'll be
alive.
killed because it's their fate. But
It's kind of
But now-
confusing, and I
Yeah,
think we
they-
just
they
got to
don't-
accept the
yeah.
villains were saved.
they don't make a distinction whether what time they would go back. I would just assume that they went back at the time Toby went back, when he's 40.
That's what I was thinking.
Well,
I think
I do have-
that's what they're
that'd be
doing.
interesting.
I do have one thing with it though is that they're talking about so they died in their universe and they're about to send them back and they're gonna die, but why does he just suspect that fixing them will make them stay alive?
Well,
Well, they
That's
can't
what I-
fight. They have no powers.
Yeah.
So it's they're Spider-Mans. We'll just take them in the jail if needed.
No, but
Look what they do.
but they're talking about when they're saying okay, when Doctor Strange is about to send them back, he's they're all talking about so we're just gonna die, and then Spider-Man's he just says well I can fix them, but does that mean fixing them is gonna change
well,
anything?
yes.
Oh yeah, because here let me give you an example. Green Goblin, right? Let's say Green Goblin was taken during the final fight against Spider-Man, right? If he goes back and the Goblin's no longer in control, then he never presses that button that makes the glider pierce him.
So it changes the past.
I don't
but
know.
what
I
about
think it just
Electro?
takes them. I
Electro
just think it
said-
takes them to the
Right.
present day. I think.
However,
what I think, too.
Electro said that when he was teleported, he was holding on to all the
oh,
the
so
elect-
the
all the
last thing they
electricity.
remember is
that was the last
okay.
thing he was doing before he went to the
Okay.
future or went to this universe, right?
yeah.
So if he gets sent back to exactly where he was holding that electricity while he has that power stripped from him,
Just let
he's gonna
go.
get fried alive.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna get fried alive.
Oh yeah,
as
that's
soon as he gets
true.
sent
Yeah.
back.
he-
Well,
'cause
Doc
he has
Ock said, hold on, Doc Ock said the last thing he remembers is choking Spider-Man. So he would just wake up choking Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and he'd stop.
Yeah,
If
but
they
but
return to
Electro
that
will
time
literally die.
And then Spider-Man.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I
he's
think they're
dead.
brought
He's
back.
dead.
Here's the way I look at it. I think they're gonna go back present day because keep in mind Toby and Andrew were brought back present day. It's not like they were their younger selves. So honestly, I think they're brought back to just the present day.
No,
How
I
they change their
disagree.
timeline.
I disagree because they wouldn't be able to bring them there in present day because the villains didn't exist in present day.
Yeah, exactly.
So they brought them back at their oldest
confused.
age. They brought everyone back at their oldest age.
So what are you saying? Toby and Andrew die when they get ready?
No, they're still
He's
living.
talking about the
They're still living.
Oh, okay,
They're
yeah.
still living. On the timeline, it hasn't finished yet, so they're still living.
Oh,
Whereas
so you're saying it takes everybody from as present as
as
possible.
present as possible, yes.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't they just maybe they go back to the present with Toby and Andrew? I would say.
I think it would make more. So we all watched Loki. I think it would make more sense if they
I didn't watch
end.
Loki.
Okay, well they ended up going back to where they were taken from because then they're not in that time period. That's what I think is gonna.
Maybe,
what
but that
happened.
makes a lot of questions. I mean, the way I look at it, in the end, it doesn't matter because we're not going to see. We're probably not going
Oh,
to
that's
see
a cop out
Toby.
though. We're just talking about it though.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
I was just
Dude,
bringing
I
it
love
up.
that Toby's Spider-Man was still like a fucking dork.
I know he was so.
He had like a slight lip, but you know what? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. When he comes back and she goes Peter, and he goes, "Yep, that's me." He goes like Peter Parker, like the way he says it. That felt like it was like a classic scene
Oh, that's
from a
totally,
movie.
does.
totally a Peter
Peter
Parker.
Parker.
Oh,
He,
good
like, he-
Lord, that's gonna be so famous in like 20 years.
But they haven't like
Yeah.
it's funny because they haven't like it felt like Andrew and Toby haven't like left the roles because sometimes you see people coming back to certain roles and they're
Yeah,
not
it's a
as
little
good. But like it felt like we just picked up where like they left off. It didn't feel like they were rusty. They weren't trying to write. It felt like it
Yeah.
was those versions of the characters.
I gotta go back to Andrew Garfield, man. He
was
was
so
so good. He's fucking Spider-Man. He's good at
He
this
was
shit.
so good. I think all three of them were great.
Go ahead, say it, Kat.
Oh, I think that it was amazing that Andrew Garfield was finally able to save his MJ.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
that
so
was
nice.
Yeah.
And he almost
Great.
cries too.
I-
and I'm
I
like,
Yeah.
oh my
cried.
god.
I got more
That's
emotional
the
the second
emotion,
time I saw
like, I
it. than the
cried
first
That's
so
time.
where
great.
Andrew Garfield
I
just
felt
did
that.
such a good job at like
Everything.
making you feel like the emotion behind what he was saying. Like the only time I really got choked up was when he was talking about how he lost MJ
Yeah.
Or Gwen.
or his Gwen,
Gwen.
and he was like he was getting choked up, and I was like, oh
He was able to do it for someone else. I'm
Yeah,
like, this is-
yeah.
Like I could, like obviously, like we feel bad about the Uncle Ben part when he's talking about, but like the way Andrew portrayed, like the way he did it when he was talking about Gwen, like he's about to cry and everything. I'm like,
He did
holy.
cry.
I mean, like
shit.
Gwen died brutally in that movie.
yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
said die.
All right.
I think part of it too. It's like, I think part of why it was like choking up because the thing is, every Spider-Man, I feel like they've all lost Uncle Ben, so like it's not as like them mentioning it isn't like as we're used to seeing that. But like, how often has the girlfriend died? He was the one Spider-Man where his girlfriend died.
Yeah, and then he has
Yeah.
to sit there and watch.
Both of them like not
Yeah.
sing, like both of them dating somebody.
Yeah, especially like seeing him sitting there just looking at Peter 1 and Zendaya just sitting there like being all lovey-dovey, and he's just like, and then Peter 2 and 3 start talking about how they like are like working on their relationships. It's super sad to see. Like,
oh, I said sad. Sad is my word. I wanted to see a wedding ring on Tobey Maguire's hand.
I know. I thought he was gonna be married.
when
I
they were
thought he was
talking about,
married. Were you
when-
paying
when-
attention? Did you like?
I
look?
Were
I
you
did look,
paying
but he had gloves
attention?
on. He had gloves on.
No, I
Yeah,
thought
gloves, yeah.
no, not when he came back in the civilian.
I didn't
clothes.
look.
I thought I saw one on him.
If he did, that'd be awesome because I didn't see it. But when he
Does-
and Andrew were talking, like Andrew goes, "Oh, do you have someone?" And he goes, "Yeah, like we make it work." I wanted him to say, "We make it work," and he would show his hand. and
But he
had the
also
ring
said
on.
it's
That'd have been so
complicated.
cool.
Yeah.
He did say it's
does
complicated. That's why I was like,
They
oh,
didn't
oh.
go in much into like what they're like now as much as I thought they would. Like I thought we
Yeah,
would get
yeah.
established where they're kind of at.
I can't believe this happened.
I like
know,
how
it's-
Flint.
I know,
I like how
right?
Flint
It's
Marco.
actually insane.
He sees Spider-Man and he does all the sand so that he saves him from the electricity.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
And then he goes, "Hey Peter, it's me. Remember Flint Marco? Like, hey Peter, remember me, the guy who killed Uncle Ben? Like, how the fuck would he not remember
The
you,
guy
you
made out
goddamn
of
fucking
sand,
idiot?
the
Yeah.
only man
I'm
in
the
the-
guy made out of sand.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, they definitely did not
He's
get
like, oh.
Thomas. They couldn't get Thomas Hayden Church back. That was obvious.
What do you mean?
They couldn't get him fully back. Like he couldn't be on set clearly.
Well, they got his
That's
voice
what I'm
and
saying.
shit.
Yeah,
They got
had
his voice.
Well, I was telling them earlier before you were here, like you could tell that when you see him, like actually him. in
It was a clip from
uniform.
Spider-Man 3.
There
It's
you
when
go.
it's when the water, you know, when like, he gets
Yeah.
into water in the sewer.
I was
That's
trying
the
to think what
exact
it's-
clip.
Yeah, it was
it.
a clip pulled from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, no, I'm
Oh.
glad they found a way to get him in. Like, it kind of just shows how crazy technology could be. And like, it was a good character. Like, you could get away with it with that character,
yeah.
making him all
You have
sandy.
to have
Like,
him.
it didn't like matter that much. I wasn't bothered. I think the picky fanboys will be picky about certain things in this movie. I feel though.
Yeah, what are things that you think like super fans will get like mad at?
They will
Like,
be
are there-
mad that
I was mad that they didn't have Harry. I wanted to see Harry in it.
no,
Harry
honestly,
Styles?
I don't.
Yeah, Harry Osborn. I really wanted to see Harry Osborn.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad
That'd be
Harry
cool.
wasn't in there, but honestly, I want to see a rebooted Harry in the sequel trilogy that apparently is planned right now. But I think we could talk about that like later. But
Maybe Ned will become.
I don't think
Harry.
so.
No,
I think
he promised he wouldn't. He promised
Dude,
he
he
wouldn't.
forgot about that.
He and then it's gonna go. It's gonna grow to the point where he's like, "You promised you wouldn't," and Ned's gonna.
Well,
be
Doctor
like,
Strange looked at him like, "Oh, look, I've got maybe an apprentice or something." I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't really bother me, but I'm not like I need that. But I want to go back to the whole Zendaya and Tom Holland like love thing. It's that I was very convinced.
Oh,
because
I wanna say
they're
they're
dating
great.
in real
They're
life.
dating in real life, but this was like
Yeah.
the best of
They
their
I
are
was
relationship.
so
They are
convinced.
great.
I
Every
was
every
so- I was
Spider-Man and
crying.
love interest have dated in real life.
Yeah,
I know.
I was,
Toby and Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, did they really?
They
Uh,
did, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
I didn't know
Andrew
that.
and Emma Stone, and then Tom.
Like,
and Zendaya.
See,
I
let's
was-
just hope that they break the mold. Let's hope they actually stay together in
That's
real
not
life.
happening.
I know.
That's
That's
you
not
don't
happening.
think so?
It's Hollywood.
Dude, they're too
Nah.
young.
Yeah.
They're our
They're too
age.
young. That
Look
is
at
weird to
us-
think
look
about.
at
Yeah,
us
they
doubting. Look at us doubting them.
No, but
are. I
hold
think
on,
they
hold on.
could be. You have to have faith in love, man.
They're
Yeah.
too
They have
young. Those
faith in
people who are
love.
older than us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
I want
they're
to.
in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna go back to the things that I was fucking crying, man. Like this shit was rough for me. Like
was
I
good.
really like when they were in love, and like the whole thing was like you come find me, and you tell me. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like she like, oh fuck, come find me, like that. You guys ever seen I think I don't know. There's this movie where Robin Williams has to like walk through hell to like get his wife out of like torture or something. It was like crazy shit, but like that's what it reminds me of. It's like he's gotta watch someone he loves like basically die, and then he has to go resurrect her, and he didn't even get to tell her he loved her. Like it was rough, man. It's hard to watch.
I think that's the closest you can get to like that's kind of like in a sense, like you said, it's kind of like a death in a sense. It's kind of like their version in a way of like Gwen Stacy's death. Like that was the love interest
Yeah, like,
Spider-Man lost.
MJ
Like,
died.
That he lost. It was on
Gwen.
him, but he did it for like the greater
Well,
good.
in this though, technically
I
MJ
feel like-
died because she's MJ.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about Zendaya, MJ. It's like she died.
Honestly, and the thing is, I haven't liked the portrayal of MJ in the MCU. I don't like how she's like. I think Zendaya was always. I've always loved the casting of that. I always thought they had great chemistry, but like I never liked that they made MJ. I'm gonna say Mary Jane, their version of Mary Jane. I mean, especially with the last name now, that's their version. I've never liked how they made her like some dry, weird, like a weird girl for like Peter Parker. Also, they didn't really establish in Far From Home why Peter liked her. So, like, I really never gravitated towards that relationship before this movie, but this movie, I'm like, they actually, like, got it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I can't explain how they did it, but I feel like they
see
did it
the-
well this time.
You see the moments where she'll say something and Peter looks at her like, he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, she gets me kind of
Yeah,
thing.
for
Like,
sure.
I
she
think she's
says,
also
like-
just not as weird in this movie, too, where you could kind of gravitate towards. She's like, you look very pretty today, and therefore I have value. Like, we don't have as many of those moments, which I think fix it, I think.
Well, I would have loved actually. I wouldn't be upset by this. I actually would have liked it if when they were at the coffee shop, like one of them like exchanged numbers or something, because they had chemistry. They did have chemistry in that coffee
Yeah,
shop.
They did.
Fuck, and it's not like she's going away.
You
He
know
can
what
go
I thought
back.
we were gonna do? You know how I liked it was a nice callback to because it was like the first time he was seeing MJ again in a way.
Yeah.
When and the first time one of the first times we see Peter and the original Spider-Man see MJ, he waves to her and she waves back, and it's somebody walking behind him.
Yeah.
And it's so awkward.
Oh
So that's a
shit.
nice callback
Oh,
to that.
yeah, I didn't
Did
even
not
think
pick up
about
on
that.
that.
Yeah,
But,
good
um,
catch. Good
But I
catch,
thought
good
Ned was
catch.
gonna walk in and kiss her. Like
That's what I thought.
I
so too.
I didn't
I thought
think
so
that.
too.
I didn't think that.
That
like
would've
they
been
were
crazy.
dating, and that would have been so funny. He has to explain to them, look, you're not supposed to be dating
it's
because
just
I
a-
just did this thing. And
it's
they're like,
just
what
a
the
big,
fuck are
like-
you talking about?
I expected
Just a
that.
big passionate kiss.
They just started having
Like,
sex
start-
in
How
front
would
of
you
him.
how would you guys try to rationalize that to somebody? How would you try to go to someone that knows nothing and try to explain to them?
I would hear.
I don't
I go
think you
here.
could.
Come with me. I'm gonna take you to Doctor Strange. I'll go to Doctor Strange and go. Hey, the winds of Watu. Remember that spell you gave me to? That's the spell. Forget it's that everybody forgets.
Yeah, but
and he
you-
goes,
you-
how did you know about that? Because you used it. And then she goes, and I go, see. That's I
Honestly, and it's funny. I like how when he's talking to Wong or whatever, he's like, "Remember that? I forgot what event he was saying." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, see, you don't remember it. That proves it works."
I love that they spent a long time with all this, but like they were like, all right, look, this has nothing to do with the story, but let's just have the Spider-Men just like talk because they had like
Yeah.
the first like batch of banter and stuff. I'm like, okay, so now they're gonna go to the main story, and they went, no, let's start another thing. And I
They
go,
did it
oh,
3
so-
times.
You think-
and then they're starting another. I go, okay, they know what
You
they're
think
doing.
they just gave them like a few ideas and were like, you know what, just like talk
Rebel
about
off.
this stuff and like shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Don't like.
yeah.
It
I don't
sounded
know how
like
you
very
script
common.
that.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know
like,
how.
I don't know. I think
I
it
could
might have
see
been.
I
it,
think
but
you
it
could
just was
script
like
that.
Yeah, you
It probably
could
was because they
script it,
definitely
but,
hit
like,
a
it
lot of
seems-
points. It had
Yeah.
to have been.
I think it
seems
was
like
a
they
mix.
were
felt
like just
natural.
talk about
Yeah.
certain things, and they might have like taken a
Yeah.
couple
It
takes
It honestly
and
felt like I don't know, but it's just guys hanging out. And
That's what
I
I'm
loved,
thinking.
I
Just
loved
guys
that.
being
Honestly,
Guys
I
being dudes.
think it was a mix between
Hey,
scripted
dudes.
moments and like some of them came up with them on the spot. Like I truly
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
Andrew Garfield came up with on the spot. Hey, wait, I love you guys. Like that was on the
And they're
on
all
the
just
spot.
like,
I will
"Thank
call
you."
that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was that.
Yeah.
That was like his enjoyment coming.
I like how long they spent because I always thought, oh, it'd be cool one day if they like talked about that. Like they made because I thought they were gonna make a little nod to like, what do you have like biological web shooters or something? And then they spent like 30 minutes on it.
Oh,
and
that
I'm
was
like,
hilarious.
Oh,
That was
funny.
30 minutes.
What is wrong with Peter
That's
One coming up asking Toby if it comes out of his dick?
Yeah, he always said it. Yo,
He's like,
I
so
got-
it comes out of your wrist?
I got
or-
chills.
ah,
when-
he said wrist.
Ooh, good one.
Nice.
Dude, I got chills when he like just quickly like web shot that thing and like I just felt I was like oh my god like it was just crazy.
Johnny Cruz did all his words.
I don't.
Good
No one
job,
just said
Johnny
any of my
Cruz.
words yet.
I have two more.
I'm so annoyed, and my words aren't even that uncommon.
I have 2 more words.
Yo, wait a second. Can we talk? Okay, I'm sure you guys talked about this before I came in. They brought Matt Murdock into this movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my, we didn't
I-
even talk about
When
that.
we- so when we
they
saw it-
brought him in,
Oh, yeah,
and I was like,
didn't even know.
I mean, we all knew he was gonna be in it, but like,
I
come the
didn't.
fuck. Well, okay, but we
I did
knew in
not
the sense
know.
that like Kingpin in Hawkeye, we knew it was coming.
Wait.
And there were
I didn't
rumors.
see episode 5.
Oh fuck.
I haven't
Sorry.
Seen, haven't
I
seen
don't
any
give a
Hawkeye.
shit.
Yeah, Kingpin was brought in last night, so 2 nights ago.
What were you gonna say, Johnny?
Spoilers.
Before Zach started talking?
What was he talking about?
Talking about what were you talking about just now? Oh, Daredevil.
Murdoch. Last night when we, in the theater, Matt Murdock showed up and everybody's like, "Ah!" like screaming, and Danny just goes, "Who the fuck is that?"
She
Can
did
you-
the same thing today. She
Yeah.
went,
Can you guys imagine actually seeing another MCU Daredevil movie, like a
Oh, that would be
standalone?
so
I think
cool.
he's just gonna be a side character. If I guess I don't know if they will,
I
but
want a
it would be
standalone.
cool.
He seems
I would
like
love
he
that.
seems like I
He's
don't even
great.
know
I like how he
like
cut the
where he had his own show or something, right?
On Netflix.
Yeah, he had Netflix.
Okay.
I just
I
started
didn't
watching
see the show,
it.
but he seems like he could
Al-
totally be the
also-
lead role. Like, he's super cool.
Also, they, like when he caught the brick, that was
Yeah.
cool. But nobody went. He goes, whoa, how did you catch that? Nobody goes, how the fuck did that guy outside throw it perfectly at
Yeah,
Peter Parker?
yeah.
What an
He threw a
arm!
brick like
It was
100
bullseye.
feet.
It was bullseye.
Yeah, right?
Tom Brady's out there just like fuck
fucking
Spider-Man.
throwing spirals.
Mysterio was right.
Wow.
Tom Brady.
Well, that makes me think of that teacher scene with the 3 teachers and like they were
and Hannibal
bantering about,
first,
like,
it's like
Yeah.
Mysterio was right.
I'm gonna be honest. That's the
that's
one scene I
hilarious.
didn't really like. I didn't think it was that funny.
Well,
I
did you see
really like the band.
in the when they're there's a little thing I noticed when they're cutting through all the stuff in the Spider-Man like trophy thing. You could see the teacher who made it. He photoshopped himself into a picture of him, Peter.
Yeah,
and MJ.
yeah.
Oh, really? That's kind of funny.
Do they reference him in other movies where he's like kind of a super fan of Spider-Man?
Who?
I don't know.
That teacher, I feel like in other movies he's
he was
like
in
a
the
super-
Incredible Hulk. He was in the
Oh.
Incredible.
He was an
Hulk.
intern
he
at
was the guy
something
with
eating a
the pizza.
pizza.
The pizza.
Yeah. And it's
Right
funny
here.
because in the last one, they did a really cool concept that I liked where he's like, yeah, my wife blipped, but it turns out she just used the blip to like break up with me and not tell me.
Oh.
That was funny.
I was like, that's actually pretty like a pretty good side story.
Question. I'm sure you guys talked about that. I mean, actually, you know what? You guys didn't talk about Matt Murdock, so I'm gonna go off of. I'm gonna hope. Which villain do you think did the best acting job?
Willem
Oh,
Dafoe.
Willem
Dafoe.
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe,
Willem
100%.
Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe.
Well, he had the most opportunity.
I
to
love
act.
how they
Yeah.
made
No,
was the
Doc
main
Ock had a
villain.
good amount though. Doc Ock did very well, but
I love how they made
Will-
him the main villain.
I know. Do we count him as an MCU villain now?
Yeah.
Well, Spider-Man
Yeah.
2002 is technically the first MCU movie.
Yeah, at this point.
At this,
Yeah,
if we're really gonna count it like that.
That's so crazy, dude. That like if you, I was telling us, like if you told me that like, oh, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin from the first Spider-Man movie is gonna fucking whack Tom Holland's Aunt May, I'd be like, what are you talking about?
Dude, that scene was
Yeah.
so sad. I actually cried at that moment.
I
was
did too.
tough.
I did. That was
You were
tough.
bawling
I
your
was
eyes out.
bawling.
Yeah, she was
I love how
crying
like
so
this
hard.
movie, like you know, I like the other 2 Tom Holland movies. I love Homecoming. I like Far From Home. Thought it was a step down from Homecoming, but I think one thing all the movies lacked was they didn't put Peter in those heart. They didn't give Peter like
Emotional.
like he didn't
Right,
feel
well,
high stakes
well,
like that, and
yeah,
I felt like that was like this movie
Yeah.
made it.
Zach, what I said in the beginning is like when you look at the Sam Raimi movies and somewhat in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Peter's character, the themes around him, the character changes around him are more existential. And in the Tom Holland ones, it's like an alteration change where it's only like a little bit in this direction. His changes, like they're not that big, and the scale of his changes don't match the scale of the movie. But this one I felt had like had
100%.
it had the most heart and heaviest themes since like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
in this one.
Absolutely.
Where do you guys rank this? You think? I mean, it was only the first time we all saw it, but like, granted, when do you think? What would you rank this compared to all Spider-Man movies?
Who goes first?
Zach goes first because
do
yeah.
you want
that's a good
me?
question.
Do you want me to rank? Because I have all mine. I have all
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
Spider-Man
Rank it
movies
in
on.
order.
Okay. So keep in mind, my opinions do change from time to time. And okay, sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna go from least to great. Can I count the Venom movies, or are we just going? They have to start Peter
No,
Parker.
just do Spider.
Yeah,
just
just
live
do Peter-
action,
yeah.
live action
Live
Spider-Man.
Live action.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
So at last place, we have my least favorite Spider-Man movie. The only Spider-Man movie I truly hate, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think it's a mess.
Whoa.
I think it's a mess, that movie. I'm not the odd one out. I feel like most people hate that movie.
Not my least favorite though.
I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is, here's the thing. So then we have Spider-Man 3, and the difference between The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and that, they're both the same kind of issue. Like, they're both like big messes of film, too many plot lines. Spider-Man 3 is an enjoyable mess. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 just pisses me off.
It's an enjoyable, strange artifact in movie history.
Exactly. Like, it's so stupid that I love it. It's so dumb. Where The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I'm like, just stop. Then The Amazing Spider-Man. I actually really like this one. It definitely has a lot of plot issues, like the Uncle Ben murder is just dropped all of a sudden. The Lizard's plan is dumb. Oh fuck! Damn it!
Plot.
Are you kidding? That's a. The Amazing Spider-Man statistically has issues, but I think it's got a lot of great moments with Peter Parker. I think Andrew Garfield does a great job. Then Spider-Man Far From Home, which I think is good, not great. It's a fun little movie, but nothing like wow. Like, I mean, it's fairly fine. Then Spider-Man 2, which is no disrespect. This is where we get to the ones I really like, so it's like not big differences. I really love Spider-Man 2. I'm not like I don't have it at number one like most people do, but I still love it. Then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Then Spider-Man Homecoming.
Live action only.
Oh, no. Okay.
Well, who
So-
can eat at this point?
Yeah, I guess.
Spider-Man 2, then Spider-Man Homecoming. I love Spider-Man Homecoming a lot. I'm a big fan of like 80s high school movies. So I love that tone that they brought to it. I thought that was where we got to see Tom Holland in him. And in his own like story, got to see him fleshed out. I love that a lot. So okay. So it comes down to Spider-Man 1 and No Way Home. Okay. They're both it's by a small little decimal.
Account for time.
Account
How are you going to feel just as enthused about it in 3 months?
That's what I was about to say. Okay. Here's the thing. I have loved Spider-Man since I was a kid. It literally was a movie that inspired me to want to make movies. So I'm going to have to give it to Spider-Man 1, but Spider-Man No Way Home is really amazing. It comes very close to that. I think Spider-Man No Way Home could become number one if over time, I need to see how it stands the test of time. I think Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be more rewatchable than other big movies because I feel like it's an Endgame-ish like movie, but I feel like it's shorter than Endgame.
Doesn't feel as long as Endgame.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. So I think it might give it that number one spot. So I'm going to put Spider-Man 1 at number one for now. But Spider-Man No Way Home is very fucking close. Very close.
I can't believe they actually had Willem Dafoe say,
I'm
so
something of a
close.
scientist myself.
They actually fucking said that, dude.
What else? They said
I was
they
like,
said a couple other
yes.
things too.
Yeah.
Doc Ock said something.
What did Doc? Well, does he have a
That was the
meme?
weakest
He
one.
had he said a power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Yeah, well, that's not
Yeah.
like a meme or anything.
Yeah, but he did say that. And
something
They
of a scientist
intentionally
they said
myself,
they did the
Spider-Man.
my
That's-
back.
that's the point.
My back.
Yeah.
They did that one.
Yeah,
That was great. That scene was so funny. I love
Yeah.
that.
Anyway,
yeah. Like they spent like a full minute, like they'd be like, "Oh, my back."
bro, Andrew's so good though, cause he cracked. He's like, how was that?
Yeah,
Like he was
dude,
so
fuck.
good.
Imagine like a full movie with the three of them, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my!
Spider-Verse, the
listen,
movie.
listen.
Can you fill a full
Hold
movie
up,
with them?
hold up,
What?
hold up.
Can you fill a full movie?
Of course,
with them?
who fucking cares?
I
Like,
wouldn't
it's-
be-
by default. It's gonna be like a good. I mean,
I wouldn't be
'Cause he-
surprised if they got another if they returned for anything else. Like even if it
Yeah,
was
me
a-
too.
even
I'd
if
be
it was a- even if it was
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm saying.
oh,
I don't think it'll happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Why wouldn't they do that? I think I can see not only them, but I could see them bring in other Spider-Men from other universes,
Yeah.
just with other characters. Like, can you imagine just like, fucking what's the guy? I do not want Spider-Pig, but what's the guy that what's the guy that
yeah.
voiced Spider-Pig? What's his name?
John Mulaney.
Can you imagine John Mulaney in his own Spider-Man costume? Like, all right, I'm here. And
well, here's
like,
the thing:
No.
if you start bringing in too many,
Funny.
like, because the thing that's special about this is it's
Because we know
No,
them.
I agree.
It's very rare to
know
have a Spider-Man, and if you have these three, right? But then it might, if they come back, let's say like, oh, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield just signed a 5-picture deal with Marvel, it might kind of dilute the
Oh yes, the power of it.
impact, the power
I
of this.
definitely-
What
I
I'm
think they just
saying-
have to keep-
But if you start
yeah.
bringing in a bunch of live action Spider-Man from like, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Pig, then it's gonna be like, okay, so seeing Spider-Man isn't that special.
Yeah, that's not what I
That's
want.
the thing,
What I'm
yeah.
saying is, like when you saw Endgame and you saw a whole bunch of like soldiers just start fighting.
Yeah.
Like I could imagine another image. Like imagine like a very like a wide shot of a whole bunch of people dressed as Spider-Man doing one thing. You don't even meet them. It's just like a one finale thing. I'm saying
Right.
I could picture something like that happening, like the Red Ranger episode in like 1999. Like I can picture that happening.
Here's the thing: is it cool if we talk about, because this has to do with kind of what I was saying? Is it cool if we talk about what they're gonna do with the future Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Do you want to wait till
absolutely.
later?
Whatever you want.
So yeah, I think the way No Way Home ends, obviously, and they've talked about doing another trilogy. I think they're definitely leading into that, and it's not gonna feel like a Spider-Man 4. Like I think it's gonna feel like a new kind of era beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't think they should do another multiverse story. I think they need to focus on establishing Peter in the city as an adult, like growing into adulthood. I think that's what they need to focus on.
100%.
Also-
waiting for.
Oh yeah,
I
100%.
agree. You know, I agree.
So what I've been
And
I've been waiting for.
And also, not even just that, I think some people were saying, "Will Peter and MJ get back?" I think MJ and Ned are done. I think they're going to focus on introducing new characters that we haven't seen yet. Like, I think we're going to get Harry Osborn.
I would love that.
I think we got to get Timothy Chalamet
No!
as Harry Osborn.
No.
I
Yes.
was just gonna say, if they fucking cast Timothy Chalamet, and then you
Why?
actually said the goddamn
What the fuck
fucker's
is wrong
name.
with Timothy
Like,
Chalamet?
who
He's in
cares?
every
You're gonna put him in
fucking
another
movie.
fucking thing? Who
He's
fucking
amazing.
cares?
And he's gonna come in and be like,
He's perfect for Harry.
Oh,
man.
why is he perfect for Harry Osborn? Give me 10 seconds. Go.
Okay, he literally, first of all, next to Tom Holland looks great. He has that presence of a rich kid who goes through a bunch of shit. He's an amazing fucking actor. He is one of the best in the business right now, young. I think he's perfect for the role. He has the presence. He has everything you need.
Is that 10 seconds?
That was a little bit more probably than 10 seconds, but I rest my
Because I
case.
zoned out halfway through because I'm just like picturing him.
Exactly, because you have
I'm just picturing
shitty-
him. I'm just picturing him being like Harry
Overly
Osborn.
dramatic.
hey.
No, I disagree. He's a
I
great
can't
actor.
picture
He
him
is
being
like I
like-
don't. I
You know
think
he
he's
was
a
up for
bad
Spider-Man?
actor. But I'm
You
just
think he's
like
a bad-
I don't
Sure he
care.
was.
Oh,
I didn't. No, I said I'm not. I don't think he's a
Oh,
bad
I
actor.
thought you said bad for a
But
second.
I'm just
I was
like
what the
like
fuck?
another thing.
Yeah, there's a lot with him in it.
I don't want him to be
Yeah.
Harry Osborn.
Either way, I
I'd
think they're
rather
going to
it be
introduce.
just somebody.
He'll be better than
completely
Dane
that I don't
DeHaan.
even know,
Yeah.
and give somebody else.
You know
a
what
chance
they
to
should
just
do?
Knock it out of the ballpark.
Give James
man.
Franco another shot.
Well,
They should do
yes.
this. They
Give,
should
give him,
do.
but he's like Pineapple Express, James Franco.
Yeah.
High as fuck. Just-
Nah. They should do a whole Daredevil Wilson Fisk thing, like a whole like drug war, whole like mob stuff. I feel like that would be cool for the
I would love
trilogy.
to see Spider-Man deal with
Bring
like
in
you
Black
said,
Cat
mob.
and shit.
Like
Wilson
like
Fisk,
small
yeah.
time crime, and enough with these huge world-ending events. Let
Well, I thought
Spider-Man
I-
be.
yeah,
the
but I thought
friendly neighborhood
Homecoming.
Well,
Spider-Man.
I
Here,
thought
I'm gonna-
Homecoming was that because Homecoming
was
was
gonna
already
say.
pretty much of a small
I
scale
guess
story,
Now that I think about it,
I was going to say, you can't get on that yet. Homecoming is that's what exactly.
or
what it
not a
did.
small scale story, but like a
Or
small.
just have him like
The world
tackle
was
like
at stake.
the
Just
mob
goons,
and
yeah.
try to stop him from.
Yeah, that's what I'm
selling
saying. It should be a
drugs.
Wilson Fisk, Daredevil,
I don't think they
Black
need
Cat,
Daredevil.
Black
Black Cat, I want.
Well, I'm
really
saying it should
badly.
be
They
all-
should do a
great.
team up movie.
Yeah,
with
they should do all
Daredevil.
those little characters taking down like Wilson Fisk and like drug war shit. That's what I think
Yeah.
would be really cool because Spider-Man, although he's still the Spider-Man's in the history books, he still now has to make another name for himself. Like he has to come back, and this is the first time where he's in an actual city. Not really, he's not on the outside of it. Like
Well, he's got a name for
he's
himself. Because remember,
different
the
now.
world still remembers Spider-Man.
what I know,
They
that's
still
what I
know he's
just
Peter
said, that's
Parker.
what I just
He
said.
still has his reputation as a hero.
I
in the
know,
streets.
but this is the first time he's actually in a city living in it.
I know. I love that. And you said Black. Who said Black Cat before?
I did.
That's the character I've been wanting for a long time. I think now I didn't think the home trilogy they could have because Black Cat and Spider-Man usually have that relationship. But Peter's like this like awkward teen. I think now that he's more of an adult, I think that's the time you bring that character in. I think
God,
it'd be great.
imagine how much therapy
You
this
could
kid
have
has
a
to
lot
go
of fun with
through.
that.
Oh my God! I was thinking
Peter
that
Parker's
earlier.
gonna like go
They
through
should
so
have-
much therapy, and the therapist's gonna be like,
Again
"Listen,
with
I
the
think
multiverse,
I
Peter,
think you're
come on, we're
actually
past this."
crazy." Yeah, so
I'm
I think-
surprised he's not like going through all like. I'm surprised Andrew Garfield wasn't like. You're telling me there's a multiverse where Gwen's alive and he's not. Like that would have been so funny. There's a post-credit scene of him just like all red in the eyes with a bottle of whiskey, and he's just
Oh,
like
whiskey.
he's telling the Doctor Strange like, "Put me in another universe now."
Wait, oh Marky, I just realized you said one of my words. Can I call you
well,
back
yeah.
right now?
Well, technically no, because someone already spoke over me. But what was it though?
Oh, wait.
You want
I
to
wait
wait?
till you say it. I want to wait
Then
till
you
you
can
actually
save it.
say
Then you
it.
can save it. It's got to be during or 15 seconds after.
Okay, I will wait till you say it then.
All right. God, what else?
I would have liked more like clear action with Toby and specifically Toby because I thought some of the they didn't. I felt like there were some times where I'm like they didn't hold on a shot long enough. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
can I just look at this a little bit
The
longer?
MCU does that too much.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
especially when they're putting like I wanted just a shot of them like they're like they're walking around in their suits, but I like even the shot where they land on the thing, I'm like looking and I'm trying to like get. I never had time to look at the whole shot.
Yes.
I only had time to look at, all right, so he's there. Because then also the other problem was like their suits sometimes were hard to tell the difference to. So when they're swinging around,
Toby
it's
and Andrew,
cool,
really.
and I'm like, I cannot tell if that's Toby and Andrew or not.
I think, you know what it is?
What'd you
I
got
have
for?
one.
Swing.
Oh, shit.
Dude,
Something.
your words have just been out in the open, and I've seen them, and I still say the words.
Something
I-
That's my
Something
last
that,
word, by the way.
all right.
Good job, T.
So Kat, like her first thoughts was like about how he makes some like pretty dumb decisions in the beginning, and I agreed. What?
Oh, yeah,
like,
Kat,
what
elaborate
were-
on that.
Yeah,
Oh,
know what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Like-
I remember.
like you said, he makes some like questionable decisions, right?
Yeah, because he could have just gone over himself. I thought he was just being very selfish in the very beginning. Like, get over it. Like,
Who are you talking
You're-
about?
The
yeah,
MI
because he's like, there's so many things in the world that was going on. Like, he literally saved the world from getting blipped.
But his friends were suffering because of it. And
Yeah,
that's the
but
guilty
friends.
It was
And then
His friends,
best
his
compared to
family.
like
yeah.
brainwashing the whole world to not knowing he was, I don't think he thought about it enough.
Yeah.
Well, you have to keep in mind, you had to put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah.
He literally is being bombarded by the entire world because the whole world knows his identity. They think he was a murderer. Like, you got to realize what this kid's. You got to kind of put yourself in his head and what this
Yeah.
kid's going through.
I also- but I also-
And he's also
the
young.
coffee shop scene.
Also,
you know
but
where
I'm
he
surprised-
watches everyone open the letters, and it's because of his controversy
Yeah.
that they were getting turned down of MIT,
Yeah.
which was their dream.
Exactly.
So
He's
But
ruining
also,
lives, but
Not
that's the problem.
just that, but Doctor Strange allowing it and fucking up the spell.
Yeah, he was.
I actually-
Like,
he was,
I was
being- like he
very-
was just like, all right, see you later, Peter Parker. Like
Yeah,
he
'cause
doesn't explain
Scooby-Doo
it
this shit.
well
Right.
enough to him, and
Yeah.
he just starts it, and he's just like,
Right. You know what I liked how, because like obviously you're like, all right, so it's obviously gonna be dumb the way they bring him back, because like, oh, it's tri-dimensional, whatever. Like you can't get that without having like a dumb explanation that makes any sense. But like, so that's like a small price to pay for like to see this on screen. But the one thing I liked is how like we accidentally brought everybody who knows that Peter Parker's into the universe instead of I actually like that kind of like little
Yeah,
twist
it was
on how
cool.
they brought
Oh,
him
did you see all
in.
the characters they had in the sky? Like, were you picking
Yeah,
them
I
up?
saw
Like
there was
I couldn't
Scorpion,
tell.
Craven,
Craven, Scorpion, Rhino.
maybe Black Cat,
wait,
Rhino.
They had those were like silhouettes of other Spider-Man
Yeah,
characters.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh shit, that's kind of cool.
There were so
Yeah.
many of them.
There
I
were
could've-
so
I
many.
could've-
were there any good ones?
I
or
bounced
were they
around
all
too much to
villains?
focus on.
They were
them.
all villains.
Yeah.
All villains.
Yeah.
I can
As
only,
far as
I
we
only
know.
was able to make out like Rhino, and then the rest I don't.
See, when
probably
I saw
know
the
well.
trailer, and like I saw him saying, "Oh, they're trying to break through." I thought he said he's trying to break through. I was like, "Oh my god, who's the big bad villain?" I was like, "Well, we already saw Green Goblin. We already saw Doc Ock," and I was like,
What else can there be?
Oh wait, the next
my
movie,
first
wait,
thought was Thanos. I was like, "Yo,
No.
what if it's
That would've been like,
Thanos?" I'm like,
bruh.
we literally
No.
just went through
That
this.
would have been like, dude,
But that
come
would've been
on,
pretty
man.
cool.
we didn't
You
even
want to know what
talk
I kind
about.
of thought?
We didn't even talk about because we're talking about the next trilogy. We didn't even talk about Venom.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that end crazy. Marky has been saying to me for weeks, what I want them to do is bring Venom into the MCU, but then when he leaves, a piece of Venom, like, I'm watching something.
Yeah.
Marky
I
got
fucking
exactly
called
what
it. I
he
fucking
wanted.
called it.
You got exactly what you wanted. I think this Venom, I was talking about with some friends before. I think what they're going to do with Venom is, obviously, they're setting him up for, like, the new trilogy. This Venom is going to be darker, more evil than the Venom, obviously, that we have in those solo movies. And I am wondering, is it going to be Eddie Brock?
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe it'll be-
what are you talking about?
In the new Venom that we're gonna get in the MCU.
Wasn't it the same symbiote?
It is
No.
the same symbiote.
It's the same symbiote,
It's
but
a piece though. It's a different personality. It's not the same.
So,
like it's not Venom that we've seen. It's not gonna be. Apologize, Eddie.
Yeah, but how do you wait? How do you
It
know?
might
Wait,
still
how do
be
you know
Tom
that?
Hardy as the voice though for Venom though.
Yeah, wait. How do
I
you
don't know.
wait? How do you know that though? That it's not the same Venom? Like, what makes you think it's going to be another Venom?
Because we've seen Venom bring up to have that Venom have offspring before in the other movies, and also
That's
the way
true.
the way it moves too, like that Venom is loud and obnoxious, and even makes voices when he's like squirming around. I think it would have like. It just seems like it was a new strand of him.
Coming
it
to
like
life.
gains a personality once it
Oh.
attaches itself to somebody.
I was
I
good
just
because I thought
wondered-
I just assumed that that Venom was going to attach to Peter and then eventually go back to Tom Hardy or something. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. They actually
Yeah,
said
no.
that they're working on Venom 3. What I think they're going to do is, so we got this new Spider-Man trilogy, and they want Venom 3. I think Spider-Man 4 won't include Venom. I think that was just a tease that it's on its way. Spider-Man 5, I think, will be about Venom. And I think between Spider-Man 4 and 5, Venom, or even before Spider-Man 4, Venom will finish his trilogy. Where they can introduce, you can let time pass and introduce a new Venom.
I would like to say something. In the Morbius trailer, Toby's Spider-Man is graffitied on the wall.
Yeah, you fucking stole that from me, you
Okay, but-
No, I didn't. I said...
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
But-
everyone pointed that out.
Yeah.
But Michael
Everyone saw
Keaton's
it.
Johnny, what do
also
you
in it.
mean?
I told you that.
No, you didn't.
No, he wasn't in the car when you said.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm talking about like weeks ago.
Honestly,
No,
that
I
movie is
didn't.
referencing all different universes. I truly believe a lot of them are throwing people off. I think it's the MCU because it's Michael Keaton's there. I think the others are. I think it's an Infinity War situation because remember in Infinity War they had Hulk. They faked Hulk being in the trailers. I think this is a lot of CGI. I think they're faking shit for the trailers just so they could like play around.
Yeah,
with
but
No
it's strange
Way
because
Home.
they have references to all three. So like they have the Daily Bugle logo and the Toby thing references the Raimi-verse, right? And then you have the Oscorp building, which is usually in the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
It's in all
and then
of
you
them,
have
though.
and then you have Vulture in the MCU. The MCU Vulture being like, "Hey, stay in touch, Doc," or whatever the fuck he says. But then you see what's his name?
He says
Morbius. He goes, "I am Venom."
Again, I think they're cutting
And
around
they
scenes.
also
I think they're
mentioned
fucking
the
around.
guy from L.A.
Yeah, he goes. He goes that. Yeah, this is crazier since that thing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I agree, but we also have to keep in mind trailers fuck around because they want to keep things
Yeah.
secret for the movies. I think it's going to be MCU because the fact is, out of all the evidence that we have, Michael Keaton's Vulture. I mean, that's the biggest one. There's no denying that. That's the biggest evidence that
But
we
it might
got.
just be like a multiverse because you really like hold on. Imagine you're Kevin Feige, right? And you're like, oh, you're doing a Tom Hardy Venom movie. Like that sounds all right. Well, maybe not put that in the MCU right now. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
He doesn't like
And
playing
then-
with other people's
yeah,
toys.
Well, but then
Feige.
you're telling me that he's gonna be okay with a Jared Leto Morbius movie?
I agree with you.
I think there's no way he go put it in the MCU immediately. I
But
think
why
he
is
would
Michael
go put
Keaton there, though?
Who knows? Maybe it's a multiverse thing. Like Loki at the end of Loki. Spoilers. There's you know what happens at the end of
Yes,
Loki.
yes.
And maybe he's doing something. Maybe there's something going on with that. I don't know.
It's hard to say, honestly. I don't think they're doing that. I mean, here's also another thing. As for this, kind of goes with what Norman said, like Oscorp doesn't exist. Here's the way I look at it. Remember, Avengers Tower is being redone. We could still see Oscorp. Maybe Oscorp's
Fantastic Four.
It could be either. I agree. It could be one of those.
John
But I'm
Watts is
saying-
directing Fantastic Four.
He is directing Fantastic Four. I do believe it's going to be either, in my opinion, it's
Future
either
Foundation.
Oscorp or Fantastic Four, but Oscorp could still just not be public. The fact is, are we really going to believe that Willem Dafoe's Norman went on social media to say, all right, where's Oscorp? He just couldn't find it in the city. Oscorp could still exist, therefore, in the Morbius trailer when it appears, Oscorp could still be a smaller company that just isn't in New York City yet. And Norman Osborn, we could see him
Well,
become the
he
new
goes-
big Tony Stark like figure.
He goes, somebody else is living in my house. I want to know who's living in his house.
Oh,
Well, it's still a building.
Is it just another Norman Osborn who's played by? Is it fucking like Chris Cooper from fucking?
No,
Amazing
I
Spider-
want Matthew McConaughey in the MCU to play Norman Osborn.
What?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Timothy Chalamet as his son?
Yes.
Fuck you.
Yes.
What the fuck is going
Yes. Or okay,
That's
and if,
that's me an expensive movie.
okay, and if it's not Matthew
Dude, this was
McConaughey,
an
I want
expensive
Bryan
movie.
Cranston. It's my second choice.
I
Don't
like
deny that.
I like that better than Matthew McConaughey. I
That's
don't
fair.
think it would be like the worst thing to have Matthew McConaughey, but
Hmm.
him and Timothy
Well,
Chalamet,
did you ever-
I'd be like,
Did you ever see that
This is
guy?
getting
It's like
crazy.
it's like Matthew McConaughey is Thanos. He's like, listen, buddy, I'm gonna snap these fingers.
I saw my friend
here."
show me that.
Well, look, hey, let's wrap up with our final thoughts because we are near the end. We're
near
at an
the
hour.
end.
We're at an hour and a half.
wow.
We're in an
We
hour
are?
and 20 minutes.
Yeah, we
was
still have to do the movie
fast.
recommendation
Yeah,
stuff.
it takes 2 seconds.
So let's do. Let's
Wait,
do
hold on. Question: do you think John Watts is gonna direct the second trilogy?
No, he's busy with Fantastic
That's
Four.
what I was gonna say.
And
yeah.
also, again, this Spider-Man
Bring back
next
Sam.
trilogy, it's gonna feel like a new sort of era. I think they need a new feeling to it.
They need
I think,
Sam. They need to bring back Jesus.
I don't think they need
Well, dude,
him.
that's
I don't
why
think they
if I
do.
was Sam Raimi, I'd be like, oh, you want me to direct Doctor Strange 2? And they're like, yeah, here's $200 million, and then he comes back with like the first rough cut, and it's just Spider-Man 4,
yeah.
and he just tricked everybody.
Yeah.
I don't think we need Sam Raimi back. We've seen his vision of Spider-Man. I want someone new. I want someone new who's going to bring new blood to the Spider-Man franchise.
You know what?
Yeah, but
I
you're
did
a Raimi
like.
bias guy.
I
though.
did
You're Raimi
think-
bias,
I'm very biased.
which is
Yeah.
a problem. It is a problem.
What the
'cause it
fuck are you
makes-
talking
I
about?
disagree.
What do you mean?
Sam
Why is
Raimi's
it-
How is
great
that a
director.
problem?
Because have you seen the toxic Raimi fans on social media?
I don't
You
fucking
calling us
care.
They're
toxic?
bad.
But dude,
no.
here's what you're. Yeah, but here's
But
what
they're
you're
like
doing.
very one-sided.
even
You're
on social
giving. You're
media.
making. You're making a conclusion based off a specific number, a particular number of people that you've seen. Like I don't. You could say that literally. Like it's such a nothing argument because you
Yes.
could say that about anything.
No, I'm just saying that.
Have you
I
ever
think-
heard of those toxic fucking Mr. Black coffee fans? Oh my god, it's all 7 of them. Like, and then you think it's more. Like it's. You could say that with anything.
No,
you
but
know?
I think it's like you can't be biased to just Sam Raimi's version because Sam Raimi could be your favorite, but the fact is Spider-Man could be interpreted in so many ways that you shouldn't just hold yourself to just Sam Raimi. And I don't believe Sam Raimi is the only one who could do Spider-Man justice. Is what I'm
Well,
saying.
yeah. Well, John Watts did in this movie. I feel.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like I feel like I think we need a new director. I want to see someone who brings new blood to the franchise. I want new characters. I think this is gonna feel like a soft reboot for Spider-Man. I think that's what it's gonna feel like.
Yeah, I
li-
agree.
I did think that I was concerned in some sense that the characters weren't going to feel like the characters because they're taking place in this other universe and like another director, they won't feel like a Sam Raimi thing. But I did think that the fight between all the fights between Spider-Man and Goblin felt pretty Sam Raimi, like especially the
They
one
did.
like there's one particular shot. Dude, fucking, he was doing like Paul Thomas Anderson montage shots in this. So when Peter's getting all the letters from school, they do a push in on. This is like a Paul Thomas Anderson signature.
did.
You do a push in on her, and then it whips, and then it does a push in on Peter. Like that's something that he does a lot, you know.
It does.
But
It's cool.
and but Sam Raimi also did that in the montage for Spider-Man 2. And I was like, that's a very Paul Thomas Anderson thing.
That
but
was, yeah.
but there's a shot when he's fighting Green Goblin, and Green Goblin like throws him through like 10 floors, and he looks back up, and he's all backlit, and Green Goblin like walks away. I'm like, that's Sam Raimi right there. Like that's how we would have done it. And
It felt like
I
a
thought that was
good-
very
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Also, and like, I'm fine with them replacing the director. I would want them to, because first of all, you don't want a director on a project for too long. We saw Sam Raimi was on Spider-Man for like a while, and then we got Spider-Man 3. Not saying you can't make another good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, but that was
you get what I
based
mean.
off of Avi Arad.
It was based on that, but my point is, you never want a director on for too long, especially if you're making a new era. And the fact is,
Yeah.
Spider-Man doesn't need John Watts. And I like the Spider-Man MCU movies, but John Watts isn't the best Spider-Man director. So like, I don't mind him being replaced.
All I want.
Michael Bay.
All I want.
God, I would be like,
Can you
no,
imagine
I
how
would,
bad that'd be?
I would freak out.
Imagine
Oh
a
my
Spider-Man
God.
movie, but it's like that movie Ambulance in the trailers, because that's a Michael Bay movie, and it's all just like all these shots of like fuck, I don't know. It's-
Imagine they did one more reveal of a Spider-Man and it was Vin Diesel, and they're like,
Oh my
"There's
God.
a Vin Diesel
Well,
Spider-Man."
well,
I
we were
hated those Vin Diesel memes. Don't even.
We
on
were
me.
joking about what if The Rock paid like $100 million to just be one of the Spider-Man. So like Andrew Garfield
a
comes out of the
jungle-themed
portal and he's
Spider-Man.
all skinny and stuff, and then he takes off the mask and they cut to like a close up of the face so you can't see the rest of the body, and it's just The Rock going like, "It's about drive, it's about power."
Hungry, we devour.
I want I do want really bad though. I do want Daredevil, Punisher, Black Cat, and Fantastic Four all to be in the next New York scene. And I think
It feels like classic Marvel from like you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it feels like they're really like, and don't get me wrong, I love the Avengers and everything, but it really like it brings back to the childhood
Yeah.
sort of shit before the Avengers became the real popular ones of Marvel. Like
yeah.
it really feels like back then.
I am glad that Spider-Man is finally getting his comic accurate suit.
Oh, yep.
of a,
you said my words.
Yeah, wait, hold on. He already got me for that.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
A
shit.
comic accurate suit, which is a repurposed figure skating outfit
Yeah.
or whatever. That's like all glittery and stuff.
It looked very shiny, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
only,
looked
that's
nice, that suit.
the only problem I have with the suit is that it's not matted. Otherwise, it's perfect.
Well, we have
It
to
looked good,
actually wait till we see the full thing because
Yeah.
we only saw.
I
for, like, a
liked
few
it. I liked how it
seconds.
was
Yeah.
like a little fun. I like how
like
when
the
they zoom in, you can see like
Yeah, I
the,
know you do.
you could see that it looks like a comic book. Like they
I know,
do
yeah.
a flash at the end where you can see like the circles.
I just wish we got a money
the
shot
pixels
of it because
shiny.
I need
Yes,
an
exactly.
HD photo of him in the suit. I know they're doing. I know. I get that. I think the reason
they did it intentionally. You know.
I know that's what I'm saying. It was intentional,
They
so I'm not
probably
gonna
did,
get
they
mad.
probably didn't actually make the real costume. They probably just CGI'd the whole thing.
I just want to see.
Well, you could tell when he was running on the building. That's like, okay, he's not. This
Yeah.
isn't real.
But still, I need to see it. All right, like full HD. Him just standing. I need that suit.
I did like just watching him like swing around as Peter Parker.
I did.
He's like,
that,
there's no point in just using my suit. So he swings and people are like, whoa. And he's like,
Yeah, I like. I love what they've done. I think this is a good direction for Spider-Man. I think the people who weren't such a fan of this iteration this will win them over. I
They
think.
fixed every problem.
They fixed every problem
Every
that people
problem.
had, and I didn't even have these problems.
Except
but again,
Brent May
I
being
miss
dead.
those old things.
Oh
What?
yeah. But they fixed every problem, and I like how he literally, it's just his power and his own intuition. That's the only thing that's going to save the day. None of this technology, none of the outside help. It's his power and intuition.
And
That's what's going to save the
He's
day.
also stuck, and this is what I loved about Spider-Man 2 is that he had to struggle having his own.
Oh wait,
life.
we didn't do our rankings for it. Zach did his. We didn't do our rankings.
I want to
for
hear
the
your
movie.
rankings of
Right,
Spider-Man.
I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like I love like when I compare everything to Spider-Man 2, I love how he has to balance the life of Spider-Man and the life of Peter Parker. This you're definitely gonna see it. How he's gonna get money to pay rent? You know, this is what
Yeah.
I think.
He's gonna go
For
to
those
the
of you
pizza.
who have played the video game, the Insomnia Spider-Man video game was fantastic, by the way. At the very beginning of the game, you know, Spider-Man sees on the news that hey, Kingpin is you know, there's a warrant out for his arrest.
Wait, Spider-Man PS4?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, you said the amazing. I thought you said the Amazing Spider-Man game.
I thought I said Insomnia.
Oh,
You did say
Insomniac
yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
PS4.
So he at the very beginning of the game, he knows, hey, Kingpin is available for me to take him in. I've been, you know, battling him for however long. I could finally take him in. But there's also a bill. You know, rent is due. You know, he sees it on the floor.
Yeah.
He gets in his suit and he looks out the window. That's where Kingpin is, out there in the city. He looks at the bill, looks at the city, looks at the bill, turns and goes towards the city to be Spider-Man.
right.
Right? And I love that. I want to see that. I
Yeah.
want to see
And
him
they-
struggle with money. I want to see him struggle with balancing his personal life and his professional superhero life.
Right.
I still think
I
we
wanna
saw
see
that
that.
in the first two MCU movies where he was struggling, and then it all kind of led to his identity being revealed. But I agree we could have it now in a more grounded level compared to when he had all this technology. I think
Right.
I want
I think
want
it's
it
just
to
mainly
be
the
hard.
technology. Yeah.
well, where
I
you
want
were
it to be
talking
hard.
about the
I
thing
like
that you
that,
were
yeah.
talking about. Also, I think they did it best so far in Spider-Man 2, where you see he's about to go to MJ's plate, and you see him open his closet, and you
Is
see
the
the
suit,
suit, and then
And
the
then
suit,
a tuxedo.
a
Yeah.
tuxedo, and he's just like staring at it, going like
What to wear?
he has to make that decision. I thought that
It
I
was
thought
great.
Spider-Man. I'll say this in the rankings. I'll say the Amazing Spider-Man is the lowest. I think it's not a good movie. I don't like it, or I don't like it. I do think there's a lot of stuff I enjoy about it, but it's like, why spend 40 minutes telling us a origin story we already know? Like, you're just taking longer to tell an origin story already. And then I would say Amazing Spider-Man 2 I actually like because it's fun, and I think his
The action was great,
Spider-Man
2.
is so enjoyable in that.
I disagree. He's just he's a
Well-
pretty boy who's
well,
good with the ladies.
No, his Spider-Man, not the Peter Parker.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Peter
but,
Parker's annoying as fuck in that movie.
But what do you call it? And then Spider-Man 3 I think is still like good because I actually watched it and I'm like, you know what? This is still like there's still stuff to this. This is pretty all right. And then Homecoming and Far From Home, I basically just say they were really good. And then I would say this movie 9.1. And then Spider-Man 2 9.5. And I actually think Spider-Man 2 is a better movie, but Spider-Man 1 is more important to me. Then I'll put Spider-Man 1 number 1.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Spider-Man 1 isn't the best movie, technically speaking. And you could argue that No Way Home's a better film. But, like, Spider-Man 1 is just...
Yeah.
I agree it's nostalgia. Like, I'll admit it. But it's like, that movie is just... Even though Tom Holland's my favorite Spider-Man actor, I'm just talking the story and plot itself. It just is Spider-Man. Like, it's just perfect to me.
You got anybody else have their rankings?
Yeah, let's do all the rankings and then we'll go to the movie recommendation stuff. I would actually have the same opinion as you for the Amazing Spider-Mans. I'd put the first Amazing Spider-Man I like the least. Then it would be the second Amazing Spider-Man. Then it would be, I don't know what you said for the Tobys or the Toms, but I would then put Spider-Man 3. And then it's hard for me to do to choose which one I like better because I know Spider-Man 2 like hits all the marks perfectly. Like I know it's like the Spider-Man movie, but I'm more nostalgic for the first one. So actually I would have to say it goes. My next least favorite would be Spider-Man. Well, first of all, the Homecoming one. I don't like Homecoming, so I'd put Homecoming next, and then I would put the Far From Home next. And then I would put Spider-Man 2. Then I'd put Spider-Man 1, and I would actually put this one as my favorite right now. And I did compensate for, in like, 6 months, how am I going to think about it? The reason why I like this one's my favorite, is because
It makes you excited.
it makes me excited. there's more to come. This isn't like a nostalgic thing where it's like, oh man, that's great. I wish I can go back. No. This is there's more to come. And also, and I've got to give Toby and Andrew credit. They're in it, so that helps, and it gives me the Spider-Man we've been wanting. Not only is he the Spider-Man that's perfect, but he's also in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this is my favorite.
Honestly, I might saying that because obviously I've been struggling between this or the first Spider-Man. You might honestly have persuaded me in that sort of way with saying that. So I'm gonna just say they're both one for now, and then my opinion will just constantly go like this. But either way, they're both amazing.
Kat, how would you
Out of
rank
the
them?
ones you know. You don't have. It doesn't.
Yeah,
No,
go
you
like-
have
just
to
do
do
like a
every
top
single.
three.
I
Don't
know.
forget,
top
don't forget
three.
about the Spider-Man cartoon from 1997 and 2001.
And the TV
Yeah,
series
duh.
in Japan.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Do like your top three. Like which ones you enjoyed the most.
Yeah. What's your favorite, Kat?
We saw the first one today.
I personally, me and Danny rewatched the first one, The Amazing Spider-Man.
No,
that
wait,
was, that was
Spider-Man.
Just regular Spider-Man.
Regular Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire's first one.
Let's retitle that movie Regular Spider-Man. Well, I'm the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, you are amazing.
That was a good that was good
You're
too.
amazing.
He is amazing. But
Uh,
I personally like the first one better for different reasons. I just like how mature the first one is. Then one we just watched, I feel like there was a lot of like comedy in it,
Yeah.
which is fine.
good comedy.
But there are some parts of it that I just got cringed out, like the
Like what?
jokes.
What?
I don't know. I can't think of it right now.
I saw that
The,
too, but
the,
I
event,
MJ,
the,
are
the
you
Avengers
gonna
have any
conversation got me a little
Spider
bit.
babies?
Where he was like, not to brag, but I was in the Avengers.
I
and then
like that. What are you
I
talking
like
about?
that was funny.
I thought it would have been funny if it was in a different scenario. They were literally.
Johnny
I
liked that
like
because
that
it's something
part.
he would say.
I thought there was just not enough time for that whole conversation.
Well, he
I don't
goes- well, he
know,
goes,
I-
How is this helping?
Well, no.
Totally
Well,
says that.
Again, I love.
It's
the
Tom trying to
conversation. I
make a
just think
plan.
The timing for it was off.
I guess that's fair. I think the way I looked at it was Tom making a plan, like trying to make like a plan or something like that.
Yeah.
I
But
would
what
say.
the first, Kat, though, the first trilogy does have the best soundtrack in my opinion.
Oh,
I haven't-
100%.
That's
easy.
Yeah, that's
Easy.
yeah. That's
Or
exactly
I do
right.
like Tom's theme though. I do like his theme though.
I don't even know what his theme
think it's-
is.
What?
It's
Dun,
like-
dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah.
I like that one a lot. I like that.
was
That
really
one's really
good.
But
good.
dude, nothing will ever beat like the one thing like and then but the one of like the one that they use for like the emotional stuff where it goes like
You're not giving this thing justice.
Yeah,
I hope
no.
you know. You are not.
oh it's like ah
So, Kat, would you say definitively the first one's your favorite?
Yeah.
definitively a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. I like them
Fantastic.
both for different reasons.
Wait, those are the only two Spider-Man movies you've seen?
Well, I've seen the other ones. I just
Zach's got to burn
it's
you
been
on
a
his front
while.
lawn.
No, it's been a while since I've seen them.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I've seen all of them. Like I remember like the main aspects of them, but
I think Spider-Man was in it.
yeah.
All
He's fighting a
right.
villain in them too.
So,
we
Danny,
watched when we watched the first one earlier today with the Tobey Maguire, and he jumps to save MJ from the first like goblin attack where he goes, "Out, am I?" She goes, "Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man could never."
oh man. So
He
Da-
did-
I was like,
he
"You'll-
redeemed
you'll
himself. He
see,
did
you'll
it."
see.
He
Yeah. When
did.
she said that, I was like, "Oh, I'm glad you said that."
He did it.
Yeah.
Danny, what? So what's your ranking?
I'll just give my top three. I'm gonna say at 3, it is probably Spider-Man 2. No, honestly, the one that we just saw. What is this one called?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. I'm getting them all
Can
mixed
I
up.
change mine?
Oh, okay. Hers is the same. No Way Home is at 3 right now. 2, Spider-Man 2 is at 2, and the original Spider-Man is 1 for me, just because that has the most meaning to me, and I've seen it the most. Yeah,
That's right. You know what? Oh god, now I'm being persuaded. Okay, okay.
Zach's having
Spider-Man. It's so hard. Okay, you know what? I gotta wait till I see. I gotta wait like
Dude,
for
just
months
stick
to
with
pass.
your guns, man.
It's
All
hard.
right, all right, all right.
It's one and done.
All right,
I
I'll
gotta
stick
be
with the one
honest,
and done.
it's-
Okay, Spider-Man 1, but very close. No Way Home.
It's hard to
It's
say.
hard.
It was hard putting No
hurts.
Way Home at 3, honestly.
You guys are killing me. I want to give my rankings.
All right, give it to guys.
Give it to TJ.
All right. So I thought literally the entire show when like someone brought up the idea of rankings, I thought about it. Right. So when it comes to the Amazing Spider-Mans, they're both at the bottom. I honestly cannot pick which one I like more.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's Spider-Man. I will always enjoy a Spider-Man movie. You know, okay, that's a lie. I heavily critique. I do heavily critique, but I enjoy watching him on screen. You know, it's Spider-Man.
Yes.
You can't go wrong. So, but they're both at the bottom. I can't honestly say which one's better or worse. I can't. But so right above that, I would put Homecoming. I don't like the overly. Like you said, you like the whole 80s high school theme.
Yeah.
To me, I just couldn't. I couldn't enjoy Spider-Man that way.
Not for everyone. Not for
I
everyone.
could not enjoy Spider-Man that way. And then after that, right above that is Far From Home. You know, I've given my 2 cents on it plenty of times, but those 2 movies, they just weren't Spider-Man for me, and that's why I'm very excited after the end of No Way Home, is that it's setting up the Spider-Man that I want. You know, being alone, just him and his own devices. I love that. After that, so after Far From Home, I would say Spider-Man 3. And listen, I still like when I watch Spider-Man 3, I have so much fun. I still love it. You know,
Fucking
it's
awesome.
It's cringy, so cringy.
It's so funny.
And like
as
it's,
fuck.
it,
I think it's cringy on purpose.
well, Sam Raimi has always been kitschy. Is that the right word? I'm thinking
No,
of?
I think kitschy would be like Roswell's kitschy because they have all the UFO shit.
Okay.
I think maybe you're thinking campy.
Campy. You know, that is the word. That is the word. Thank you. I think all the movies are like that, but I have no problem with it. I think that's just his style, right? But I still really, really love watching Spider-Man 3. Then I would say No Way Home. Yeah, I loved it. I said that plenty of times today. I'm very excited to watch it again, and I'm completely even more excited of like what's to come in the future.
Yeah.
But then above that would be Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 at the top.
Wow.
Unoriginal.
Let's say that's a shocker.
Every
right? It is my
fanboy
favorite movie of
ever.
all time.
Unoriginal.
My
Zach
favorite
went
movie of all time.
first, and then he's calling everyone behind
I
him
am.
unoriginal.
Well,
Y'all,
what do you guys-
opinions are wrong.
What do you guys?
Wait, hold on. He's saying unoriginal, but he changed his answer based on everybody else.
Yeah, what the fuck, Zach?
It's hard. It's
The
something
worst
that
part
I've
about
loved since I
this
was a
is the
kid. It's something new that I
hypocrisy.
love. It's something new that I love and something old that I love, and it's just.
Can I
it's
can I
like
ask
picking
everybody a question?
child.
Can I ask everybody a question? In 10 years, what do you think people will say? Because everybody says Spider-Man 2 is the definitive Spider-Man movie. It's like the definitive single Spider-Man movie. But if you're going to say, like, what encapsulates all the Spider-Man, like the character of Spider-Man the best, like, or the movies,
It
is
might-
it going to be the one that contains all of them?
I don't
Probably.
know. It's
I
hard to
don't-
say.
I wouldn't
For
say that.
for me, like it's still
I
the
would
first
say
one.
this one's
Yeah.
very unique.
It's gonna be the next
It'll
Spider-Man
also
movie.
depend
Like in
how
terms
old
of
you
like,
are.
in-
It'll
like
depend
the
how
most,
old you are.
the most
I agree with that,
accurately
you
know?
representative of the character.
I think that question will depend on how old you are. Cause
Yeah.
us, our age, like I feel like it'll always be like, oh, the original Spider-Man, because that's just how we remember it. But a kid who's like just like our age when we saw the original Spider-Man, seeing that movie, actually, it might not even mean that much to kids seeing that movie. Seeing
Yeah,
like
they don't give a fuck who Toby
seeing
is.
like
They don't
Tobey
give a
Maguire
shit.
show up there, like who the fuck is this? Like it doesn't mean that much to them. If you looked at the crowd, it was mostly like our age and above. Like I didn't see. I mean, I wasn't like
Wait,
looking at everybody
yeah.
in the crowd, honestly, but like around us, everybody was like our age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have one question though for everyone.
All right, then we're gonna.
So obviously Toby and Andrew was a big selling point, and you guys love what they did with Tom Spider-Man. So remove the fact that Toby and Andrew were hyped up before the movie came out. Remove that hype. Remove that was ever a thing. Pretend Toby and Andrew weren't even a thing for this movie. Like
Okay.
no one thought about beforehand or anything.
Yep.
If you went into this movie and Toby and Andrew were not in it, same story, same everything, but it evolved Tom Spider-Man the exact way, would you still have liked the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Because
making
his-
sure. I'm making sure.
Because I think his
yeah.
character's arc and journey through this movie was done way better than the last 2 movies.
how
No, yeah.
Even
How-
and it's crazy that they did that because they were able to do that in a movie that was already a little bit overstuffed. But
Oh, yeah.
having it be overstuffed is a small price to pay to see everything in this movie.
I'll
Oh,
say
yeah.
one thing though, like how would they have developed his character so much without those other Spider-Man showing
Yeah,
up?
that's
Because they give him some pretty solid advice on
Right.
how to
And-
develop.
And that's
They
that's,
teach
you
you
know,
how to
that's
get over
literally what we
him
were saying
from,
at the beginning is
like-
that like they were used.
they're
Right.
they're
Progress the
integral
plot.
to the
yeah,
to him
and that's another
developing.
parallel with Toby. He stops the glider just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah.
stopped. Yeah.
Oh, ding! You said glider.
Oh. Yeah. But,
Boom!
I
talking
knew someone
about
was
it.
going to say it at some point. I knew someone would.
fuck, dude.
Hi.
Glider.
Hey MJ, you gonna have any spider babies?
Oh, who said that?
Oh yeah, that was weird.
The guy in the
One
crowd.
random
Just some
lady.
random guy.
it was a man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a man. Oh, yeah.
I don't
that's some
even
weird
know.
guy.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
In,
no,
in,
I
in,
can't-
like
Unless
one of the
they
comic
identified
stories,
as a woman,
In
it
one
was
of the
a
comic
man.
stories, didn't
It was
like
a
MJ
woman.
die from
Okay.
like
Spider
Radioactive
babies.
sperm.
Yeah.
Getting-
Oh yeah, that's like a weird. It's a really
Shot
weird
again.
comic. That's like in an alternate
Oh,
future.
yeah.
It's really fucking weird.
Damn.
they're a little edgier in that one, I'm assuming. 'Cause the
Yes.
radioactive.
It's like it's
Cum
not
shots.
good.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens. We do have to wrap
Wait,
this up.
can I
though.
ask? I
All right,
want
one more thing.
when remember when Toby showed up, and he was like, he was like, I've seen you two before,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's like,
that.
but your friend. He goes, that's not your friend. I was so confused. What the fuck was going on? And then him and Andrew see each other, and then they get all like, whoa, and I'm like, wait, why are they fighting? Like,
Now we
Yeah.
both just had a weird like tingle, and they thought it was
Oh.
danger.
But yeah,
They-
but
I don't know.
what was he talking about? Like he said he saw them.
yeah, he goes, I've seen you two before,
And
or
he-
I've
he-
seen. He
Oh,
goes, I've seen
no,
you
I
two.
winked-
He
Trying
winked
to-
at his mom.
No, what was that all about? Yeah,
It
it
was
seemed like
weird.
they had like sexual tension, like him and the
No,
grandma.
here's the way I looked at it. He looked at it
Right?
as like that was some sort of imposter or something like that. When he saw it, when Toby first saw Andrew, I think he attacked him. He probably thought like, because he was trying to find Tom, and he knew that he was friends with him. He was looking for him. So then he was like, who is, like, I think he looked at it as like, who the hell is that? And like fought him. That's what I think it was.
I know I said I had to end it, but how cool is it with the spider sense that Tom Holland Spider-Man had when he was like out of his thing?
I
Very
like- I
Raimi
like
the
esque.
spider sense.
Very
like,
Raimi
let him-
esque.
I like how they've done. They did that.
that scene, that
And
shot
you
was
could
awesome
see-
with
you could see
Doctor
the
Strange
like,
Yeah.
like, straight
TJ.
out of the comics. Straight out of the comics, you could see like the little lightning bolts out of
Yeah.
his head from like,
Yeah.
like the way the air was
Yeah.
moving around. It was
I
Marky,
like,
can I
I
ask
like the
one little
effect. I like
question?
how they made his own like spider sense, because in like the Raimi ones, you had like the
Yeah,
and then they did all like the
sounds.
cool zooms. But I like how in this one you see they do like the Zolly thing a
The
little
dolly
bit,
zoom, yeah.
and
Yeah.
the world like changes. It gets, you could see the world become more like what would you call
The,
it?
the depth of the depth of
Well,
field.
it gets wider, right?
yeah.
So you have a better you the viewer have a better view of all the surroundings, just like Peter does when he has the spider sense. I thought that was really well done.
All right, last thing, Zach, go.
All right. In the new trilogy, which character or villain, Spider-Man character or villain, would you want to see the most?
That's a big question. You said
I
a little
know.
question. That's a huge question.
Just best one character. Just
Well,
everyone says one
I
character.
said
one
I said
character.
Fisk. I said Fisk.
I have to go probably Black Cat, because we've never seen a character like that.
I don't consider her a villain.
No, but not villain or character. I'd
Oh,
say.
gotcha,
That
gotcha,
can
gotcha.
include Harry Osborn. Harry Osborn's like a close second for me, but I got to go with Black Cat, I think.
Okay.
I would say Venom. I would say I love.
Oh,
Venom.
you're getting exactly what you want.
Yeah, no, I know I am. So
Yeah.
I guess
Pretty
it's kind of,
satisfied.
that's kind of a cheap answer, I guess.
Do one that okay,
Um,
do,
I'd like
besides
a
Venom.
totally
It-
new.
Totally new. Craven. Craven would be really
Oh,
cool.
he'd be cool. You know, that was the
That'd be
backup.
really cool.
If No Way Home didn't do multiverse, Craven was going to be the villain.
I figured
of
it
this
would
movie.
because
Oh.
like
What were you say? This is the first movie where it's a Spider-Man movie about Peter not cleaning up a Tony Stark mess.
oh thank God.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't look at Vulture as the Tony Stark sort of mess. That was his own. The Vulture had his own plan. That was. I don't look at that like.
Yeah, but
that.
it
He was
was
robbing
all
from
the
Tony Stark.
but
No, but
all the
still,
villains.
I don't look at it like
all
that.
the villains were like as a result of Tony Stark,
Yes,
and then
Vulture.
Peter had to
though-
fucking
But
clean it
Vulture's
up.
motivation wasn't Tony Stark necessarily. Vulture's was
It
about
was.
no, but Vulture's thing was about like poverty versus the rich.
Well,
where
yeah,
Mysterio was
well,
all
that
about,
was just a
Tony
thing they
Stark
threw in.
fired me. I'm
But dude, the whole
angry."
point, but the whole point of like the poor versus the rich thing they were doing was like Stark. He doesn't care about us.
I know, but he
He was
wasn't like,
directly connected to Stark, because if Stark
All right,
never
don't worry
started
about it.
damage control,
I didn't.
All right, let's
what the fuck are you in a hurry about?
Yeah, what are you such in a
Oh,
hurry?
you
We're
want me,
talking
you want me
about
to tell you?
Spider-Man.
What?
Because when podcasts are long, people tend not to click on them.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah, well,
shit!
He saw how long our last one was and didn't even click on it. That's
Oh,
why
yeah?
I'm worried about the time.
Yeah, it's
So-
fine.
No, it's
I'm
not
an-
fun.
I'm
So
an
let's
avid
let's
not
let, let's
viewer.
finish out. I don't want you guys arguing about that.
Wait,
anymore.
who are the characters you guys want? Say it.
Characters
Like a
like
new
there.
Spider-Man. I want like evil Spider-Man. I don't know,
What?
like some clone of
Venom.
not even a
You got
clone.
the Clone
just, like,
Saga?
just like some new guy who got bit by a spider, but he like turns evil and he just like
Gay Spider-Man.
That's the Scarlet Spider. He's kind of like that.
Scarlet
guess
Spider?
this.
Is he gay?
No.
or like
Cat. Who do you want? Cat wants It from Stephen King. Okay.
Yeah.
Johnny, give us your movie recommendation.
My movie recommendation is It's a Wonderful Life, because everybody forgets who he is, like he never existed.
All right. No, that's just for Johnny.
Oh, okay.
All right, I have a rating system for you.
What?
1 out of 10 spider babies.
Oh, we already rated it, but Zach didn't.
9.1
Oh,
Spider
me?
Baby.
Oh yeah, I
Zach, rate the
forgot.
movie.
I forgot we already rated it. Dang
Okay.
it.
So how do I have to be like?
1 out of 10. No, just 1 out of 10. Give me a number. If you give me anything else, it's too much.
Uh, 10 out of 10 spider babies.
Okay, guys, say your words and we're done. I got black arms. With great power comes with great responsibility. Dead and CGI.
Spider
Wait, what?
babies.
Those are the words I wrote. What words did you write, Kat?
Oh.
Mine was villain multiverse with great power comes,
That's a
Yeah.
phrase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you're
got
allowed
it.
to
we're
put
allowed to
phrases.
do phrases.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, you read the rules.
Damn it.
Sue, and then I thought that we were allowed to do anything, so I said Joe Biden by accident.
Sure.
Okay, Danny.
Listen, man, what's going on?
So
Yeah, 'cause I thought you were
I
gonna
did Spider Babies, Smacked, Portal, Multiverse, and Suit.
All right, Zach.
All right, me. Okay, I got swinging,
Spider-Man.
which was definitely used that I just didn't pick up. Suit was definitely used I didn't pick up. Glider I got. Lawyer and city.
All right, TJ.
I did. Well, they were all crossed.
Get to the
off.
mic.
I got suit, sad, alone, swing, and plot.
I got all of them too. I got wrist, 3, villains, die, and spoilers.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for being on. Guys, thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one. All right? Peace.
What's the next
Good
one?
one.
Bye, guys.
I don't know. I've never heard of that movie.
I like hearing that.